All right, let's see. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, good? You guys been ready. It's been me. Oh, I just got... Stream is still good, right? I just got a stream offline notice.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 16 of the Friendly Fire Podcast. What is it? About 2 months since we did our last one? I meant to look that up, and I didn't do it. I always think of these things as I start. Yeah, what did we do last time? Was it my birthday?
Yes.
Yeah, and Hardline launch? And Hardline launch, I think, probably. So probably
Oh, God.
March-ish?
Hardline
No,
launch?
that was two separate ones, I think, right?
I think it was a month after Hardline. Wait, no, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we did two separate ones for each. I can look it up right here in a second. Yeah, just a birthday cast. The other one, yeah, Hardline was a separate one. So yes, April 20th. So yeah, basically 2 months, a little over 2 months. That's right on pace, right, pup? So today we're obviously going to talk about E3. We tried to do it last week. It just didn't work for anybody. This one kind of didn't work until the last minute either for all of us. Too long, I agree, Socio. So we're going to talk about a lot of E3. I'm looking at a document here. We have tons of stuff, which is good. I mean, there's tons of... I mean, we could probably keep going. I've forgotten less than that's on this list, or more than... I don't know what I'm trying to say. More than what's on this list. So probably definitely drop the hammer for us. And Puppy, I see you chimed in here too. Darth, what's your excuse, sir?
Right. What's E3? I don't even care about E3. I'm a mobile developer.
But you're a gamer, dude.
Yeah, true.
So, but yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So we're gonna try to dive right into that. And as we go along, we're gonna try to prioritize what we talk about based on like our kind of favorite picks. As I was talking to Polly about this, because there's just too much to get, and I don't want to miss anything. But chat, if there's certain specific things you want to talk about, please mention in the chat, or specific games, I should say. It doesn't necessarily have to be games. There was a couple peripherals that people wanted me to talk about, obviously, and stuff like that. But before we dive into that, a couple of things. First, we're going to do the Comment King again. We did this last time. It was one by, what was it? What did he say, Egg Roll? Something about me sitting on my nuts, being so old. I was sitting on my nuts or something. I meant to go back and watch that again, but I forgot. So yeah, he won with that.
Come on.
I know. Well, I was. We had plenty of time until my PC locked up 4 times or 3 times. No, that I should have done earlier, obviously. But I can't watch that with the kids around, that's for sure. So yes, Mr. Eggroll, I did just shift that out because I'm a terrible contest runner. So I hope the state doesn't come after me. But if you do that, you will win some swag from my shop. You can see the link below. Just basically, it's the best comment, the snarkiest comment, the best put down of me. It seems to be a good winner.
Whatever was the most entertaining.
Puppy is going to kind of what are you gonna throw that in a dock as you see stuff, Puppy? I guess. Yep. And we will vote at the end as we did last time. Do we disqualify Eggroll? I don't know. I don't know if he's here. He's going to be here, but I don't think we should. Yeah, if he comes, if he brings it again,
we could insult you all night. Like
I know you guys are disqualified for sure.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise I'd be broke, but. Yeah, so that is, I think, the only real bit of business. I always mention iTunes, but we don't really have to do that. Yeah, so far, Juan, all you do have to do is make fun of me and you win. But, yeah. I mean, that's nothing really out of the ordinary, especially with this chat. Other than that, we're going to usually kick off about what we're playing. But why don't we kick off what you've been up to? Because I'm going to go left or right on my screen, because I haven't talked to any of you guys really all that much in a while. I know, Darth, you've been going through a move, right?
Yep.
So a new Death Star, like we were saying. You lost a nice ambiance of the fireplace and curtains and the little lodge in the woods thing going on. So, what have you been up to away AFK, away from keyboard a little bit, and then what have you been playing lately? As I pour myself a beer.
Who's going? Whose turn is it?
You, Mr. Darth. You.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been moving, obviously. There were many things wrong with this house, so I've been spending quite a bit of time doing that. But when I've been playing games, the Steam Summer Sale came along, and that sucked away a bunch of my time and money.
Oh, sure.
I played a bunch of Shogun 2 and Rome Total War, or Rome 2 Total War. I've been playing for the last week a ton of Fallout Shelter on my iPad. That's kind
so you've avoided that.
Let's see, what else have I been playing? CT and Battlefield 4 when I get a chance, and mostly side seat driving while my wife plays Mass Effect like 7 times.
Side seat driving? I mean, she can reach you to smack you, I guess.
Yep.
But, alright, so congratulations on the move. I know that it seemed like you went radio silent for a good, almost a month? I mean, you haven't really done any videos too much, have you?
No, I haven't had a chance. Like, I hope.
That's a lot for you.
At some point I'll start going daily here again, but
you're starting to sound like me, man.
Much to do around here. The lawn. So to give you an idea of the lawn around this house, while pulling up the dense jungle overgrowth, we found a newspaper from June of 2011, which indicates probably the last time that humans saw that part of the surface of the Earth.
Nice. They were really upset about the terrorist attacks, and they were just like, wouldn't even go outside. All right, that was a little before. Oh, actually, we matched right up pretty good with the timeline. Polly, what have you been up to, sir?
I've been in the middle of searching for a new job for a couple months.
Yeah.
And doing a bunch of freelance work in the meantime.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. You weren't sure if you'd be able to make it tonight because of that.
Yeah, I have a freelance contract thing that I started on Thursday this week. It goes through halfway through next week, so that was a nice find.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you're in between, you get freelance stuff, but freelance is never regular as you would want it, so until I get a full-time job, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, oh, when's the next project coming?
Yeah, it's a tough
Most
way
of
to
the work
live.
is tracking it down rather than actually doing projects. So I hate about doing freelance. It's all the in-between stuff rather than actually doing projects. That's fun. It's the finding them that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So
I'm almost afraid to ask what you've been playing.
Witcher 3. That's what I've been playing.
Oh, just one? I thought you were going to drop like 37 games.
You know, I'm always playing Minecraft and stuff like that.
Yeah,
as well.
sure. I saw your videos. I have watched them. I have not commented because I watch them on my iPad with my son usually when we check them out. But
yeah.
we usually don't make it through all the way because they have low attention spans. But we do watch.
Yeah, I get a Minecraft video out every once in a while. But yeah, Witcher 3 I put... I don't know. I would tell you how many hours, but I don't know because the game tracker is broken in the game. And then the GOG Galaxy one didn't track it a few times, so...
Yeah, I need to get back into that.
North of 70 hours.
That's not too bad.
The best I could put in there. That game is
Are
awesome.
you playing that on Steam?
I got on the GOG Galaxy client, the new thing that they put out with Witcher 3. Because actually, for the podcast I do, we got a review code for it, and my PC was the only rig that would run it. So I was like, yes, lucked out.
Wow. That's good. Probably what have you been up to, sir? Again, I haven't spoken to you very much either, which is a little unusual. We've been deep in that Neverwinter or whatever, right? Or
as far as AFK IRL goes, I have been keeping the savages alive, and aside from that, not a whole lot of nothing.
that is like a Dark Souls like grind. That one, boy, unforgiving for sure.
Unforgiving, yes. Don't mess up. But
It's a shitty simulator.
They're on summer break, so it's
oh god, it's about to get worse.
Yeah, it's well, see, okay, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, and that also ties in with what I've been playing lately. So obviously, you already mentioned one of them, Neverwinter. Been playing the hell out of that one.
I saw your tweet earlier. Yeah,
it's an MMO. You know what do you expect? I've been sinking a ton of time into that one.
Didn't they just add the Tyranny of Dragons to the Xbox version?
The Tyranny of Dragons actually came with it.
Or something. They just added something.
They're fixing to add. It's not quite here yet, but they're going to be adding the Rise of Tiamat. So we'll get to fight the Dragon Queen, which should be fun. I'm excited for it. But no, besides the Neverwinter, I've been playing actually Minecraft on the Xbox with my boys.
I get that then. That makes a little sense.
They bought me a third controller for Father's Day, so we've been making use of that and been doing the split screen thing. And
a triple split screen?
Yeah.
That doesn't like make you nauseous? That would drive me nuts.
It's not so much that it makes me nauseous, but like I have terrible eyesight. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I have to sit really close. Well, because the screen is divided by 3, I have to sit even closer. Yeah. And I have to make sure that I get the player 3 box because the other 2 are just it's a big TV on a big stand.
Yeah.
So I'm all right up on the TV and trying to play this game.
That's cool. My boys are playing Minecraft tonight on here, so
it's been a lot of fun playing it with them, watching them, rediscover everything that I've already learned.
Yeah.
And then I think my favorite thing is just all the times I've had to accidentally kill them because they stood in front of me.
Push them off a cliff. Nobody can call protective services in Minecraft. There you go.
Accidentally in quotation marks.
Yeah. Anything else, or that's just basically? I know that's a big, huge chunk of time.
That's basically been it. I haven't had as much time as of lately, just because the kids have been home. And so.
Yeah, I've been playing much the same. Oh, what's going on, Jeff? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Doing a real life grind. I've been telling you guys on Twitter. I've been getting crushed. I think Darth, you were making fun of me. Crushed by work. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's good. Like I said, what's good for the family is not good for my gaming, but that's such as life, right? Good weather, getting outside, that's really it. As far as gaming, I mean, in CSGO, these guys are already making fun of me about that. It's been quite an adventure, but I'm enjoying it, actually. I'm gonna try the Dirty Bomb, I think, with you guys one of these nights, maybe tomorrow night, actually, and give that a whirl. Not too far of a jump. Looking forward to Squad, as Socio keeps hyping up, so we'll see. And then, obviously, all the games we're going to talk about. But I want to talk a little bit about what I did today, because I had a ridiculous day, and some of you guys might have seen on Twitter. So, like I said, bad 2 weeks into my rearview mirror. Looking at Friday, we got a podcast. It's always a happy day. Looking forward to it. Talking games with buddies is no big deal. So I'm happy. I'm good. It's the last day of school for my kid, my oldest. He's getting out of kindergarten. Great parent day. I'm floating on air pretty much. Find out he got invited to a travel soccer team that we tried him out for. I didn't think he made it. So again, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Then as a gaming thing, I find out midday. I hope I can even say this. I got into the Battlefront closed alpha thing or whatever. Having a great afternoon. Get off work, get a paycheck. It's getting better. Go to the bank, deposit my paycheck, get some cash, buy some liquid for the podcast. I pull into the bank. First, I fill out my deposit slip at wherever I get dropped off in my truck. A couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Drive to the bank, pull in behind a couple people. First guy moves away real quick. I'm like, what the hell? All right, move up next guy. Next guy just pulls away. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Go up, the drive-thru window's closed. I'm like, what's going on? It's 3:30 on a Friday. What the fuck? I'm all grumpy now. I'm pissed. I got to actually get out of my car. Go park, walk over to the door, door's locked. I'm like, it's 3:30 on a Friday. Why is the door locked on a bank? I'm like, now I'm all pissed off because I got to drive to the other bank. Walk back, I get in my car, I'm watching. I'm like, I'm going to watch some other idiot walk up to this door. Maybe I did something stupid because I don't have any faith in myself to be smart. Next guy walks up, door's locked. I'm like, all right, door's locked. I don't know what's going on. As I'm pulling out, like, police cars come crashing into the parking lot, like blow by me. One cop parks right in front of the door, gets out. That aggressive cop. Like he's clearly not here to make a deposit, right? He's like, I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, I'm really curious, but if I don't get out of this parking lot right now, I'm not getting out of it. It's just gonna be. So I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. And I leave, and I come back, and I'm like, telling my wife, I'm like, something weird was just going on. So then, lo and behold, that bank got robbed. Literally, like, minutes before I was there. Like, if I hadn't filled out because I figured out, how long it takes me to get home, about 15 minutes. I know exactly when I left that bank. I know when they say the robbery was reported. And it comes down to, if I didn't fill out the deposit slip at my truck and I had just driven to the bank and, like, say to go inside and do it, I would have been there right when it got robbed. I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird. I was having this great afternoon and almost get stuck up, but...
So you're saying you robbed the bank?
Well, that's what my wife said, because I'm like, yo, I got out of it. The cops are pulling in. I'm like halfway out of my parking spot. I'm weaving through them. I'm getting the hell out of here. She's like, you're lucky they didn't like pull you over and stop you. I'm like, I guess, I suppose. I didn't really think about it that way. I wasn't speeding out of there. I was just like, yo, these cops are going to swarm in here. I was like, something's up. I'm out of here. So right. I've never been a part of a bank robbery before, so that was pretty cool.
Never been a part of the bank robbery.
So save me $15 in criminal activity, right? I mean, I don't have to buy that now. So that was good.
Okay, you can play with like the 7 other people that are playing right now.
It's so bad. We're gonna save that for another podcast because we'll throw the negativity at someone else. And plus, I'm in the Battlefront Alpha, so I don't want to piss people off right now. So.
Well, you're already in. They can't get you out now, right?
I think they could. They definitely could. I think once they realize, wait, we gave him one? Shit. So that was my exciting day. That's about it. But other than that, not really game much. CSGO, like I said, I think that's really it. I think I played Battlefield with you a while ago, Darth, so that might have been a month or so ago. But
yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a while, right? And I think that's it.
It was just after the new patch landed.
I'm trying to think of anything else that's stuck in here. I've been coming home and I haven't even wanted the game. It's been hot too, so I've just been laying low, watching some TV and some movies and stuff like that. So other than that, let's just dive into E3, which I see Jeff very jealous that you got to go to E3 someday, my friend, someday, and we'll have that beer we've talked about. Man, I don't know. E3 is gonna be a hard one to make though. Maybe a PAX or something like that. But where do we want to lead off, guys? Like I was gonna say to you guys, is let's pick. There's so many. So I got your list here. I'm seeing you're a good little contributor. Yeah. What was your just broad strokes first, and then we'll go narrower. What was kind of your we'll say game of the show, go to the show. What was your biggest game that got you hyped? You can go do one or two if you really want to. I know it's hard to differentiate one. And what was your worst presentation of the show? Because I think we might all agree on that one. But we'll start with Polly because I feel like you're anxious to talk about. What was your favorite presentation or favorite game? I know you have a list here, but I'm going to make you pick one, maybe two. And then this way we'll definitely cover your favorites first.
As far as what I'm excited for, probably Deus Ex. Just because I love the last one so much that this one looks like a good progression.
Uh-oh.
Like graphically, it looks better. They've done some stuff to the gameplay to make it, even better than it already was. So I'm excited for that game a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I really. Oh, Darth's right in there. I don't think I caught that one. Did I catch that trailer? I don't think I put that one on here. I'm not a big Deus Ex guy, so it wasn't on my radar. I don't know if Puppy might have wanted to. Actually, Puppy might not be. I don't know if he was into that one. And whatever. Yeah, well, we have that one. We'll talk. Well, might as well talk about it. The Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the one you have on here too. That was the one I said was like Jurassic Mechs, right? The girl.
They've said it's going to be an open world action RPG somewhere in between, like an Assassin's Creed style, and then a Skyrim somewhere in the middle of that.
But so, what is? I'm going to have to find out the story on this game because it's just going to be.
It's kind of like 1,000 years after an apocalyptic event, and then these like people, the humans left on Earth, are kind of these tribal things, kind of Celtic looking, and then you have robo dinosaurs.
Yeah, it was like a total mind F. I was waiting for like the Energizer Bunny to go across.
And it's nice to be surprised, so I think that's why it ranks so high on my list. It's like, ooh, that looks cool. It sparked my imagination.
Well, it's one of those, like, once you find the little first trailer, you're really intrigued by it, and it could easily be one of those games that, like, once you see the second trailer, you're like, nope.
Yeah.
Because it's so open right now, you could just let your imagination fill in the blanks. Right. But when you actually get what it is, you might just be like, no. Kind of like another game called The Division, but we're going to wait until someone brings that up.
That's a game? What?
Yeah, we don't know. It might just be a marketing scheme. Darth, what were yours? I see you just filled this out, and I think you got one that I know Polly wants to talk about. But
so the four that stood out to me that at least resonate with me because I've played the franchises before. Obviously, I'm going to be playing Battlefront with a name like Darth and the fact that I like Battlefield.
Yeah.
There's probably very little to keep me from doing that. I
think we're all probably going to pick it up at some point.
I'm going to be playing Deus Ex when it comes out. I really liked... what was the name of the last one?
Like I said, I've never even played. I'm a bad gamer.
Right. You should pick it up. It's usually pretty cheap on Steam.
Especially with Steam sale that just went on. I probably wouldn't get an opportunity. But
especially with the director's cut, apparently it's not... doesn't have the assy boss battles of the launch.
Yeah, they reworked the boss battles for that one.
I'd be curious to see with Deus Ex what they do about the ending of the previous game. Because I can't remember. They gave you 4 choices, but I don't remember what they were. Not like I remember the original Deus Ex. Mass Effect Andromeda looks good, although I have to say great things about that because I know 1, 2, 3, 4 people working on that game.
At least you're transparent.
I'm excited for it, even though it was just a teaser trailer.
Yeah,
that's what I say. We don't really know anything about it, do we?
Yeah, well, actually, if you want more information about it, there was a Reddit topic a couple of months ago now where somebody pulled out a bunch of survey data that they had been given from EA and basically outlined the game at that point, and the trailer seems to line up with everything that person was speculating. So it could be legit.
It's like a reboot, right? It's not the same. It's like almost a whole new storyline, right?
Yeah, new characters and everything.
I don't really play Mass Effect either, so I'm not up on it.
Supposedly it takes place after... I don't know.
Yeah, it's after the trilogy of games out already, and it's supposed to be hundreds of years later, possibly. Who knows? We don't know exactly, but...
Right. We know so little, and the date on that one is Q4 of next year, so...
Yeah. Holiday 2016, so we got a while.
Yeah, that's going to be a while. It was actually really surprising to me because that game's been in development for a while now. Apparently some things are underway, I guess. Anyway, the other game that I'll be playing is Fallout 4. That's the other game I've been playing recently is New Vegas. I've been playing a bunch of New Vegas.
Yeah, and somebody just gifted... Is that the one that somebody gifted to me? Which was nice enough. Pikey, I believe it was. Gifted that to me saying I needed to try it because I've never played that series either. And then I kind of... I panned on the trailer at first because I saw a bad trailer. I saw like a cut-off one. I think, Polly, you jumped on me about this too. I was like, what's really new about it? And I didn't see the whole end because of the trailer I watched. So then a couple of you guys directed me to a good trailer, and I was like, okay. The whole city, town building, and the mods and all that. I was like, all right, I see where you're getting excited here. All right, cool. So we might as well just talk about Fallout 4 because I'm pretty sure it's on all of our lists, right? I mean, I'm probably the least, but I know Polly and Darth and Puppy, we haven't heard yours, but I'm sure it's up there. So how hyped were you guys? What was that? Was that Sunday night that they did that?
Yeah,
they did it the day before.
It was a good kickoff, and I'll say this: I haven't played Fallout either. God, I'm like I don't even know why I'm on this show. because I have a
This is
decent
a show
internet
about what
connection.
Culper hasn't played.
Can you tell I'm a focused, solitary, narrow and deep gamer? Wow, that sounded terrible. And this is my first beer.
At least you're narrow and deep.
Well, yeah, I guess you got one thing going for me, right? I don't even know where I was going with this, but anyway. Oh, no. This just took a turn. We might as well start talking about the Fleshlight Oculus right now, right? But I like the presentation. I just love the fact that they just didn't pull any punches. There was no BS. There was no Aisha Tyler. It was just like, hey, we have this game that's really far along in the development process. You're going to get your hands on it relatively soon. Enjoy it, check it out, and that was really cool. It's just total direct and showed us actual gameplay and features, and I don't know. And it's guess what? It's a game that'll be shipped this year. It's not we're announcing a game that we're gonna re-announce next year at E3, and that I just hate that trend right now. So it was nice that this is a concrete game we're gonna get. Here's a lot of feators. There's everything you can want to know about it, and you're gonna get to play it soon. So that was pretty cool. So I give them kudos for that.
They finally announced it because I've known about it for a long time now.
Like new Snoop.
It's not like anybody was assuming that they were never going to make a Fallout game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they wouldn't be defending their IP rights in court if they weren't going to make more Fallout games. But yeah, I'm actually. This is a title I'm pretty excited for. I've enjoyed playing the Elder Scrolls series and the Fallout series for at least the last 2 games of both of them, and although I do have to rag them slightly on the fact that they have the same engine that they were using in 2000.
Is it literally the same? Because I was like, the graphics I didn't think were that good. I'll be honest. Like
they've taken it about as far as they can.
Yeah, it kind of does remind me.
Compared to Fallout 3, it looks really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
If you compare it to some
really
other current games, it's not quite as polished.
I'm not a huge graphics guy.
It's clear that the creation engine is starting to show its age.
Yeah, you feel like you're playing like a COD, where you're like, all right, guys, I appreciate what you've done with this, but it's time to kind of rethink moving it up a little bit. But I mean, that's not the end all be all. But when you're trying to like nitpick over just visual, you're visually looking at it. You're not playing it. It's kind of all you have to talk about. But go ahead. Continue.
I don't think people really play the Fallout and Skyrim, etc. for their graphics for the most part. And if you need to improve that, if you're part of the PC Master Race, you can with mods. So
yeah, right. The texture packs and all the HD packs. Puppy, what do you think about Fallout, bub?
I thought Fallout looked amazing. I am super excited for it. I actually am like you. I've never played a Fallout game before, though.
Hey,
all right. Here's the thing, and this is part of what has me the most excited about it. Is it's by Bethesda, and Bethesda makes the Elder Scrolls. So when I see what they're doing with Fallout, I think, all right, which bits of this are they going to bring to the next Elder Scrolls?
You're gonna have to climb towers for sure.
Oh,
this isn't Ubisoft.
But like, don't worry, Bethesda is owned by ZeniMax, not Ubisoft.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of the stuff that they're bringing to it just looks super cool, looks super fun. So, I mean, even though I haven't gotten into any of the previous games, I kind of have a premise of, I mean, it's not a hard premise to grasp of what the series has been about. So I think I can jump in without going back and really revisiting any of the older ones. So, I don't know. To me, it looks amazing. And I have a feeling that they will deliver just because of the company that's making it. So,
yeah, I think that it's gonna make me pick it up, and you guys probably your exuberance is gonna make me check it out, and I'll probably go back and play the one that was gifted to me because I feel compelled to regardless, but I would anyway because I am interested. But then it's when someone gives you one, you're like, well, they can see my Steam profile, so like I don't want it to be 0, so you kind of have to put in a hearty effort and check it out. But I like post-apocalyptic stuff. The whole idea does interest me. I read books about that all the time. I'm like, why haven't I played this game before? It's kind of one of those that just kind of always slip through the cracks, I guess. Puppy, why don't we do your chart here, and then we'll just kind of move into the games here. Otherwise, we could talk about Fallout probably for 30, 40 minutes. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
What were your highlights of the show? And then, like I said, we'll just go down the list, and we'll let chat chime in which ones you want us to kind of focus in on.
All right, so obviously there was Fallout. That was one of the bigger ones for me. Another one that I actually got excited about that I didn't notice a lot of other people really hype up was the new Need for Speed. They've been kind of drowning as of late in their recent titles. They've all been kind of blah, same sort of thing. And I mean, what can you do really different with a car game anyway? But each of their games, since every Need for Speed since Underground 2 has just had less and less and less car customization, emphasis on the way your car appears And to me, that's kind of what made the game fun, was like making a car that was unique to you and then taking it online and showing it off and racing against other people. Because, you know, you might win, you might lose, who cares? You're really just trying to show off the little design you made for your car. So the fact that the trailer that they had for it shows that they're putting a huge emphasis on the customization now, making it look a lot more akin to the older Underground series, has me placing that one pretty high up. And then obviously they didn't show hardly anything.
I didn't see this one,
but I don't care. Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, that, yeah.
Holy crap! Lost my.
Listen, I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. I played Final Fantasy VII. I remember playing it when I was a kid, but I do like the way they're remaking this. Like, much grittier, darker it seems, and like, I don't know. Like, to me, I was like, I'm not hyped for this. I was like,
they may not.
Well, it's just like the slums. What is it? Midgar? What the hell is it called? Midgard. The slums. I don't really remember the game. I couldn't have told you anything about it. But watching the trailer, I was like, oh my god, yeah, I do remember that. So I was like, wow, that looks really cool. So it was a pretty good teaser. I'll give you that. But I don't see myself playing it. But I understand there's going to be people that are super hyped for that. So something people have wanted for a long
Square
time.
is really good at making movies now.
Well, yeah. I think. Well, and I also don't know how true it is because I didn't follow up on it. But somebody mentioned in a Skype chat that I'm in that they're actually taking the game and they're not necessarily just straight up remaking it. They're kind of reworking some of the story to make some more sense too. So I'm kind of interested with that.
Yeah, that was my thing. I think I kind of needed to be a kid to kind of be okay with the story because it was just like so all over the place. But I think I put a ton of time into that game. So I think that's, for me, one of those games where I'll watch like a Let's Play or a stream of it rather than go buy it myself and kind of check it out. But
here's the thing, and well, I will talk on this briefly because I know we're not going to hit on Final Fantasy for too long, I imagine. I'm a little concerned with how it's going to carry over. Like, I'm super excited for it. I've been a huge fan of every Final Fantasy game, and 7 was my favorite.
Yeah,
but I think part of why it held so close to me is because, without giving out too many spoilers, it had a really...
Oh, you can spoil that. I mean...
Well, okay, there was a bit in the game...
10, 15, 20 years old?
They're introducing you to all the characters, you know, and you're getting to like all the different characters, and oh, this guy's kind of unique and funny, and oh, this dude's just weird, and hey, this chick, you know, your main character, Cloud, kind of likes this chick. And then out of nowhere, like maybe 30, 45, maybe an hour if you're slow, into the game, they just kill her. Gone. Dead. That's it. X to pay respects, that sort of thing. And I was just like, as like when I'm playing this, I can't remember how old I was. I want to say I was like 10 or 11. And when a character that you actually played as just gets offed like that, I'm just like,
George R.R. Martin of games, basically.
Yeah, like I was crushed. And I don't know, like then the whole game just becomes like this pursuit of vengeance, and it made it a lot. And to me, that kind of is what made that game so good. And I don't know how well that's going to translate in today's gaming, especially since we have press X to pay respects. It's becoming a very, very common thing to just off characters.
Well, yeah, that's really the thing with remakes.
Value.
So many games have incorporated the good parts of those games over time that they've just become cliche in games by now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a whole lot of value for people who haven't played it to go back and enjoy it for a first time rather than just having the nostalgia factor for people who have.
I just remember chocobos. Is that what they are, right? That's all I remember. Oh my god, blowing my mind with that genetics and stuff. That was pretty sweet. So.
And breeding chocobos.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so I'm gonna go because you guys are all wrong. Okay.
All right.
The game of the show, and we're gonna do a friendly fire community night of this because you're all gonna have to buy it. Was For Honor. I mean, that game looked insanely cool.
Not as cool as the guy presenting it, though.
Well, the beard dude, yeah, that's
he was rocking a
pretty rad.
Oh, that's right. And I missed Hoop God. I've heard a lot about Hoop God. I missed him, but yeah, I did hear about that. I saw this guy later. I went back and watched. I didn't catch any of this stuff live.
So looking at this game, it looked like
Chivalry,
medieval
Chivalry,
games, the Chivalry.
Yeah, just a little smoother and done a little better, but
yeah, at AAA quality.
I am just gonna talk so much shit while I play this game. It's just, I was like, I can't wait to decapitate you and hump your stump. It's like, it's gonna be so fun. I need more of this in my life. It's like, I don't know. And like, haven't even seen the Viking. You know the Viking, you're gonna be able to piss on somebody. Like, that's like, your special move is just gonna be something.
You realize you need to grow your beard out for this game, right?
There you go. When is release on this?
Yeah, I actually put it in the document. I think it's actually required to play the game. Like, I
they
don't
scan
think
your face, and it's not up to standards. You just
it's got facial scanning, and if you don't have a beard, it's like you're not allowed to play this game.
No, you become like an AI. Like, you can't control it. Your viewpoint is of an AI, and you just get murdered over and over and over again. You like, you get to be a god.
Actually, that was one interesting feature of what was it? NBA 16.
Jealous, Jeff. Yeah.
Or was it FIFA 16? I can't remember.
No, it was NBA where they brought the guy up on stage and just scanned him. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The Hoop God. And then they made a Twitter account for him and everything. It was so bad.
Not like it's ever going to work like that in real life.
Nothing.
Hoop God.
They've never had that feature work
Stage
well.
demos are always exactly what I get as a consumer product.
We're not going to talk about Ubisoft just yet and the Division and all that stuff. That was, cringe. But this game was the one. I think, you know what it is? Because so many of the games, like you were saying, Fallout, that we kind of know they're coming. I mean, obviously, they started teasing Fallout before. But even then, like, I'm trying to look at other, like, Battlefront, all these ones fall off. Kind of had this one to me. I just didn't know anything about. So I was like, oh, look, that's a really cool, new kind of fun. It's not even new, but it's just like I always look for that game that blows me away that I don't expect. Like Division, a couple of years ago now, I guess. Where you're like, holy shit, oh, wow, okay. Then it becomes like mainstream, and then you're kind of over it a little bit. But then you're like, well, I don't know. This one just looks, really fun. Like I said, For Honor, also known as For New Underwear, because I was pretty excited about that one. But it's just, hopefully it's just more polished Chivalry, because Chivalry was fun, but it was after a little while you're like, all right, I'm tired of just randomly swinging my big sword and maybe hitting something. But beyond that, I'm just gonna go down the list now. Chat, if you got something you want us to specifically talk about, please chime in, because it's probably on here. It's just buried somewhere. So I want to hit the bigger ones, which I think probably, I don't know if you curated this in order of anything, but you did a pretty good job.
I didn't reorder it. It's
the next
still
one,
kind of the same order that it was.
That I did. It was probably as I was going through trailers. I was just like, oh! Another one, and I noted this, ambitious as fuck. Because, do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Ghost Recon Wildlands. This is, like I said, another one where you're super excited about it. And then once you start to actually find out about what it may be, you might go, yeah, I don't know. Or you can get super hyped and be like...
What's cool about it is it had a long trailer that we just didn't know what it was until the very end, and you're like, wait, that's Ghost Recon?
Right,
Whoa.
right.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that game was. It's like, is this another Just Cause game? Wait, no, that doesn't seem right. Oh, it's Ghost Recon? What?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, if they can do this, it'll be incredible. Like, it'll be so cool. But I'm just like, I don't know, man. A, I don't know if they can deliver. B, when can they deliver this? Because this is, like, huge. It's just like, all right, I'm willing to wait for it as long as it'll be good. But it's just like, is this going to be that No Man's Sky and Division where we see it, like, 3 E3s before we even, like, see gameplay? And, well, I guess we saw
Another
gameplay.
Watch Dogs. It's Ubisoft. Come on.
I think the biggest tease I ever saw at an E3 that took the longest to come out and was the most disappointing is probably Duke Nukem Forever. Nobody will ever top that debacle.
Appropriately titled. Yeah, like
That game never had a chance to be good.
Oh no, this was probably the can't wait to climb more towers, right, Pup?
Look, dude. If there is, I will buy the game just because it looks really cool. Like, I don't even have to see anymore. The open world, go and tackle and be your little Spec Ops team or whatever. If there is one freaking tower, the minute I have to climb one tower, I don't care what it's for. I am taking the game, and if it's a disc, I'm breaking it. And it's not playing it anymore.
What if
you're just a sniper puppy and you're supposed to be up there?
Step up.
Look, don't make me do. No, I just don't.
It's like a mini PC tower that you have to climb.
This is why you play Just Cause 3 instead and just blow up all the towers and everything.
Blow up all the towers.
Exactly. That's what I.
Press B to blow up tower. Press X to respects.
Yeah, I don't even know how to wrap my head around this game because it's just so huge. It's like, obviously GTA mixed with some other. I mean, it's just like, it's so big. It's like so many different games. But yeah, I mean, and they wore baseball hats, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I just want to mention that we don't have to hound on it because we don't know much of it. Is there a delivery date or a release date on that yet? Or
No, not that I know.
2/16.
No.
I gotta imagine. Yeah,
we're seeing a lot of games that are open world now after the success of Skyrim because every developer is like, holy crap, that's just about made Call of Duty money. Everybody
Not
make
just
open world games.
Skyrim. There's lots of open world games that have done well, so we just see more and more and more of them. That's what Ubisoft almost does on all their games now.
Yeah.
They've got like a franchise kit for if you really want to. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room then. We probably should have led with this one, with giving this panel and a history. Battlefront, which I'm not gonna indicate either way. Let's just, I mean, are you thumbs up, thumbs down from what you've seen? Like, obviously, we all had our impressions going in. We had some probably doubts and worries and things like that. After seeing the, I guess, gameplay, we'll call it here, are you a little more confident, a little less confident? I don't know, Darth. Why don't you lead us off? Where are you standing on Battlefront? As we're looking,
I am not yet convinced. It looks like it will be.
And I know
fun.
you want to be convinced.
Will it be fun for more than 3 or 4 weeks? That may take some more convincing. There were a couple of people that had been in panels and had seen the gameplay and really weren't impressed. If you go by Angry Joe, he was really unimpressed with that game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Although
I don't put much credence into Angry Joe myself, but
right, we'll have to see. I mean, yeah, will I play it? Yes. Will I play it for a long time? We'll have to see. I don't know. It feels like it could be another hardline in the making, given the fact that it's a movie property and they're having to push it along. And we've heard some limitations already. And there's some things that are like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but I wonder.
It's rough because it's like the other games, well, obviously, they've delivered, have been accused of bloat, obviously, and that's been their thing. We've been asking them to narrow focus, and then they take on this project that you just can't really narrow the focus on. You know, like the content, you know, like it's an epic story, and obviously you're hearing, you know, space battles, and there's just so many corners. I don't want to say they're cutting corners. I think they kind of have to. I don't think it's for being lazy. So there's that hard drop dead deadline that's just, they're gonna ship on no matter what, and I think they have learned a bit of a lesson.
They started this project, like right after Battlefield 3 launch?
Well, they'll tell you it's been in development for 30 years, but yeah, I mean, and then they've got Mirror's Edge, and they've got 8,000 things going on. It's just, you know, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm not actually that negative. But Polly, what do you think about Battlefront? I know you've wandered away from the Battlefield franchise a little more than the rest of us, but
yeah, it's just, how do you feel? I haven't played Battlefield game in forever, just because I have limited time and haven't felt like playing it and felt like playing other things. Battlefront looked about like what I expected, in that I expected something that looked and sounded really, really good as far as it looks like Star Wars. It sounds like Star Wars, but we're not going to know until it launches how it's going to play network-wise and all of that, which is mostly what the problems with these Frostbite, you know, games have been. Yep. Mm-hmm. So I want to see what it's like in the wild before I, you know,
I'm going to
go one way or the other.
That's what really confuses me, and JP4C's kind of mentioned it in chat. He's saying it's kind of weird that they didn't live stream it. That's kind of been their thing with Battlefield 4 and Hardline. And I would have told you that would make me a little suspect, right? But then they're following right up next week with like a closed alpha, which you know, you can't do streams or videos, but word's gonna get out. If it's terrible, people are gonna know about it, and I'm gonna talk about it. I don't know whether it's publicly or not, but like if it's bad, I'm gonna start telling people. If it's tight and it feels pretty good, I'm gonna tell them the same way. But it's like. Are they hiding the game, or are they not, and they just have some weird little thing going on? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
They're just being more careful about it than they have in games past because of, you know, their reputation where it is now versus where it was then.
It was on the floor. People were playing it, so it's not like it was behind closed doors just for maybe press or things. It was there. Like, why not stream it? I don't know.
I think you're going to hear from at least one person I can think of that it's the best Battlefield game ever and that you should go and pre-order it right now.
I could probably print you up a list of associates of you know, a certain program that are going to be saying things like that. But no, as I'm told right now, you're not allowed to produce any content from this closed alpha. So I mean, that for me anyway. I mean, sure there'll be special permission for some people, I would imagine. So you'll see content. It's just you won't get it from honest people. Or, you know, you won't get it from people on the buck. You know, whether people are being honest or not, that's up to you to decide. But yeah, that was one thing I thought was a little peculiar. Like, it's like you're kind of hiding it. Maybe you're trying to stifle hype, which, that again, it doesn't fit with a Star Wars thing. You know, like hype away. It's just kind of what it is. So I don't know. I don't know where I stand. For a minute, I was suspicious. It was kind of like, all right, but then here they go. They're going to start rolling out the hype train. So it's a little weird. But
I think as long as it works, there will be plenty of people playing it. Just because Star Wars, the franchise, will bring in lots of people. The question will be, how long will that player base stick around?
Right. When I hover over the buy, even if I know it's not great, it's going to be like, but it's Star Wars. Yeah.
If they're smart, they'll do a great job with it, and it'll be wonderful, and they'll get themselves a hell of a lot more fans.
Especially with the new movie coming out, the hype is there, whether they're doing it for the game or not.
Frothing at the mouth hype. Right. Yeah. Go ahead, Pop. What are your thoughts?
Oh,
or do you need a minute?
It looks cool for a Battlefront game, I suppose. I like Battlefront, or not Battlefront. I like Star Wars. I'm a fan of the lore and whatnot, but I feel like the game itself is kind of it's kind of a fun kind of go have some laughs with your friends on the couch. Or,
I think that's what they're going for here.
Yeah.
Which is,
and that's that. Well, it looks like they're pulling it off pretty well.
Yeah.
And in that regard, I'll probably pick it up to play with either buddies that come over or buddies that are online. Just for a little bit. But I don't see myself genuinely playing it for very long.
I don't think it's going to have that depth. I think we're looking at a casual more casual shooter here.
It's not going to have a lot of staying power that I can think of. And then I think one of my primary concerns with the game too is. Can anyone here honestly point out a game that's been multiplayer that's run good that is created with the Frostbite engine?
It's time to say, I mean, 3 strikes, you're out at this point. It's
I really worry because they haven't been able to really figure out their networking issues with that, and it seems like every game that's just terrible. Yeah. Well, even like some of the smaller co-op based 4-player games have had some terrible networking issues if they've used the Frostbite engine. I mean, Dragon has issues.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, because it's the only one I can think of.
They got a couple racing games, I think, right?
To me, the fact that game even has issues just gives me pause to go, is this really going to work? Are they going to figure their stuff out before this game comes out?
So the thing I've been wondering the whole time is they show Endor, and they show speeder bikes zipping through the trees on Endor. And I know in Battlefield 4 how many times I've crashed the quad bike into just stumps and trees and been like, how is that going to work?
No, they just raise the clearance on us. You're riding a quad. It's the same thing, probably. It's just, it's the same thing they did for that patch.
I know why the stormtroopers are always slapping into trees and exploding. Because
remember the patch where you got snagged on every twig, and then they just basically raised the floor, the allowance on that? That's all they did is they just hyped it 500%. So now you just hover over everything. It's awesome.
Is there going to be an achievement for riding a speeder bike for more than 20 seconds and not exploding?
I will not get that medal for sure. But yeah, I mean, my overall impression. I mean, it's first of all, I mean, and I feel bad for saying this, but it's the thing that's the UI sucks. It's terrible. It's jarring to me. It's so bad. Hopefully, it's just a place.
Thing?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I almost want to say I want immersion with Star Wars. You want to feel like you're in the movie. You want to. It's nostalgia. And then there's these floating cards all over the place. It's I don't know. I hated it. Hopefully, it's a placeholder. They'll redo it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really thinking the fact that that's so out of place.
It wasn't even. Thematically, it didn't blend with the whole. It was bad. It was really bad. So it's a minor thing, but to me, it was very jarring. I was just I can't get over that. And then, like you said, you'd run up a hill and there's a weapon there. It looked like a anti-air type of weapon. There's a little icon spinning around on it, and I'm like. I don't know. It's so is it going to tell me to insert coins next? It's it's just so arcadey, and I'm okay with it being more casual as long as you're upfront about it and stuff. And I think that's fine. Like Puppy says, I'm kind of I'm okay with more casual, and that's how I approach Hardline and stuff.
Arcadey is fun as long as you go whole hog on it. If I think back to Battlefield 1942, that game is very arcade-like.
Yeah,
it treats the game.
I don't know if I'd call that arcadey, but it just didn't have the depth. I think I don't know. I just think. I mean, like you said, I'm not going to be sitting here racking strategies about this game. I'm not going to be making content for it because there's not going to be that much. But I could be streaming it and playing it, just playing it. But people are saying it might be like Medal of Honor and Hardline, where it's popular for a month and gone. I don't think it'll be like that because I think the hype for Star Wars is real. As long as it's not terrible. If the game's bad, the game's bad. But as long as they deliver a decent product, I think people will play it, and they're going to have a ton of DLC and content for this. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm really nervous about the heroes, whatever they're calling them. I don't know. I think it's going to be like everybody else just stands around.
This will be the first battle whatever game that I will play exclusively on Empire for the the theme.
Right. But it's like isn't it like a battle pickup where you get to be Darth Vader? Like it's.
I don't. Have they described how that mechanic actually works yet?
See, I thought they said it was the person that was doing the best or something.
So it's like a kill streak almost, or point streak, or an achievement of some kind. I don't know. Like I need a lot of details on this, and I need to sit down and think about this because I don't know. I think
that reminds me. Speaking of Darth Vader and Luke or whoever it was he was fighting.
He was fighting Leia.
Yeah, he was fighting everybody at the end.
Whatever, man.
Was it?
Can we draw
Han Solo, Kenobi? I can't remember. Maybe it was Kirk.
Kirk. Yeah, it had to have been Kirk. It was Kirk.
James Bond.
Jar Jar Solo
is what it was. But no, Darth Vader Darth pointed this out to me on Twitter when I was commenting on it, doing my little live tweet or whatever. The combat from it. Can we expect the same level of melee combat that
where he's blocking every blaster
with the counter knife and stuff? Like,
that's an obvious question. I think their melee has been lackluster.
The exciting melee combat of the Frostbite engine. Brace yourself.
And then press X to counter and Y to play respects at the end, or
How is this gonna go?
I just feel like when these guys pop in, the rest of us that are standing are just gonna be like, well, I'm not even gonna bother shooting because they can block everything. Let's just watch them hack each other for 4 minutes and then game on. It's like, I don't know. It's worrisome, but
everybody crowds around like a school fight.
Yeah, basically, everybody circles around. Like, go, yay!
This makes me think that I want another Jedi Knight game.
There's a lot of like these. To me, it's just a warning sign. Like then AT-ATs and the C-130 all over again, and it's just I don't know. There's a lot of warning signs here. So I mean, and I mentioned I'm excited. Like I was lukewarm about it, but I'm excited to get into this alpha because I'm like, well, this could save me $60 or $100. So and anybody who wants to know, you know me, I got a big mouth, so I'm gonna give my opinion on it, but. I'm excited they're doing that because I was worried that they weren't going to do it so much and just let the Star Wars hype carry this game. So, and I guess I've been told that there may be a beta coming too, more of an open beta. I don't know if it'll be fully open or what, or probably tied to pre-orders or some bullshit. But as long as you're letting it out there and letting people play it, I'm a little more hopeful for it. But there's a lot of warning signs out there. And the biggest one is, like Darth mentioned, that drop dead date. They are shipping this thing regardless of what state it's in. Because it's literally tied into the movie.
That's probably why they're not doing a beta this time, because they did the beta for Hardline and then they added 6 months to their development cycle, which they can't do this time.
Yeah, well, they're not budging. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean demo. I think this closed alpha. I think this is a network test. I mean I think it's a test. I just think it's a network test. They're not going to change much. I honestly don't think there's much there. There's no ADS. It's lasers. Most of the vehicles are on rails. I mean, my big thing was like, what is it, 20v20, right? Isn't that the cap, 40?
Yep.
And now somebody's telling me, can we confirm this, chat? Maybe is there AI? Like, there's AI soldiers, and it has to be, right? I mean, otherwise...
I think I remember hearing about that, yeah.
How do you get these battles?
You can drop in bots if you want. I think the other Battlefront games did that as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. It fits. But I'm just like, you're watching guys fly, and then armor, and then you're watching these infantry. I'm like... I'll scratch on a scratch pad, but the math doesn't add up. Like I don't think you can get this with the player count. And somebody told me there was bots in it, and I was like, Titanfall didn't make it very fun. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that could go wrong here. But for me, again, I'm not looking for that simulator. I'm not looking for depth. I'm not looking for tactics videos. I'm just looking to have some fun, like Puppy said, and just shoot some faces. And that's where I get back to my whole UI thing. Is I just want to feel like I'm in the movie. Right. I don't even have to have a good game necessarily. Just let me feel like I'm in the movie and let me shoot Jar Jar Binks in the face. But then there's a UI and you're just like, to me it was totally jarring. Like I'm watching gameplay and I'm just like, what is that thing on the hill over there? It's like, fuck, like get rid of that. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just, but I don't know. Anybody else?
I think with their decisions in this game, they're going very franchise friendly and they're saying, we're gonna make this for any player that wants to come into this game.
100%, and I don't fault them for that. With this franchise and, you know, the licensing agreement and everything, they've got to go wide breadth here. And I think everybody, you know, you can't go niche with this. I would love to see a niche Star Wars game at some point. But
so are they going to do a premium for this?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, no, they are.
They're going to milk this hard.
EA, come on.
Yeah. Well, it's more than EA now. It's Disney, too. So, yeah, this is going to... There's two of the biggest money-hungry people in the world. Yeah, they're going to do... I think there's going to be a lot of content with this game, so we'll see. And it's all going to be tied in. What is it? 3 new movies coming, right? So, or maybe more?
More than that, there's 5.
But there's like one movie tied with this launch.
There's 3 mainline trilogies, and there's already been 2...
But when's... basically what I'm asking, when's the next movie coming out? A year later?
Yeah, they're doing the Marvel thing where they have mainline movie, sidetrack movie,
right.
mainline movie.
But what I'm saying is the movie's going to launch, I guess, around Christmas time, right?
Yep.
So when's the next movie? Probably the next Christmas, right?
Next Christmas, yeah.
So they're probably going to look for this game to carry a year and tie back into that.
They've learned from Call of Duty, literally, where it's publish your IP every year so that it's fresh in people's memory.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to want this game to tie into this movie. And get their, they're not going to make another one in time, so they're going to have this one tie into the next and kind of, I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep going with this. But, so, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of content. Hopefully there's a lot of support, because, you have to imagine, as soon as this game drops, they're going to start spinning up Battlefield 5 or whatever that project will be.
That's already in production, I can
guarantee. Right, but by who, though? Like, there's only so many talented people. Yeah, but I just, there's only so many people I trust, I guess you should say. But then there's Mirror's Edge mixed in there, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. And then Visceral's working on another Star Wars game, apparently. So it's just a lot. It's just weird. It's a lot going on, and I don't know. My instincts are telling me one thing, but my fanboy heart is telling me another. So time will tell. Time will tell. So we talked about those. All right. Well, let's talk about the other slightly less sized elephant in the room. And let's talk about The Division. And like I said, this is that game where we were super hyped for it 2 years ago that we saw this, right? Or was this last year?
It was last year. Was it 2?
So it's only been a year of hype?
Pretty sure.
I feel like it's definitely at least been a year. So, all right. Yeah, I think you're probably right. We got a release date, March 8th, right, of 2016. Is that correct? Yeah, 2016. So, that seems about reasonable. It's basically another year, so I'm fine with that. Huge graphical backpedal. Again, I'm not that hung up on this. It was also shown on consoles, so I guess if you weren't expecting that, you're a moron. Again, it'll look better on PC, but it already looks good. I think it looked fine. I'm not that hung up on about it. My beef was this, like we said, when we first saw this, we got super hyped for it. I was like all in on this game, but I kind of knew it was too good to be true. I think everybody was like, yeah, I just don't let me down. And then now the more we learn about it, the more we learn about it, the more questions we get. And it's almost like they don't know what the game is, and they're just kind of like reacting to our reaction, and that's guiding this whole process. So I was more encouraged by this. I was actually more excited by it because I liked the whole Dark Zone thing. I liked the going rogue, isn't that what it's called? Free-for-all idea. And I was told, I don't remember who I was told this by, but I was informed that you could still fight outside of the Dark Zone, but the Dark Zone was where the best loot and things would be, and that would incentivize people to go in here into this battle arena. And I was like, cool, as long as it's an open PvP world, I'm down with that. But I've since heard that no, that is not the case. And there is no fighting. There's no player versus player combat outside of the Dark Zones, and it's only in the Dark Zones. So I don't necessarily know which one is confirmed. I've never heard nothing from. I frankly haven't looked it up. I'm lazy. So if anybody can tell me which way it is it open world PvP? You can shoot anybody, anytime, anywhere. I don't care about shooting my squad mates. That's stupid. It's a dumb mechanic. I don't know why they featured that. You can always do stuff like that. It's just kind of like, why are we?
Didn't he have to leave his little party or whatever?
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is an asshole. This isn't a game feature. It's kind of like, if that's your friend, then you need better friends, not a game feature. If it's open world, I can shoot anybody anytime I want. Anybody can shoot me anytime I want. I'm down for this. I'm into it. I'm good. And then the Dark Zone is just where the super loot is, and it's super risky and better mobs and all that. Cool. If it's not, then I will probably pass on this. Like, if it's this Care Bear, like, just instance journeying, I'm not that into it. So, I don't know. I'm
trying to find your answer real quick.
Yeah, I've people have told me, literally, I've done this on Twitter, and people have told me different things, and, I don't know if they've said. So, that's my big hold up on it. I don't care about the graphics so much. I don't care about it being so instance, as a lot of people have said.
In certain areas, you can seamlessly engage in PvP and experience suspenseful scenarios. That's straight out of their mouth. So it sounds like it's going to be...
Yeah, right. Or maybe there'll be multiple dark zones or whatever. You know, I think places like the dark zone. But if there's a place where I run into a bunch of people and I can't kill them, it's a problem. Like, I want that experience. I understand why games don't go for that because, you know, obviously, again, massive audience gets shrunk when you do stuff like that. But can we just have one game try that, please? I love that, you know, like a DayZ type where, like, anything goes. You almost, your own ethos, your own ethics, your own, you know, justice system and all that. But so, I don't know. What did you guys think about The Division as I've chimed on? I've pretty much said my piece. You know, there's a couple of smaller issues.
I actually, I've been a huge supporter of this title so far, and I still am. But I actually am a little bit concerned, and I'm a little bit concerned just because I've played another game that I'm kind of getting flashbacks to, and I've put this game down, believe it or not. But it kind of is reminding me of Destiny a little bit.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think that's what everybody's comparing us to. Yeah, for sure.
Both in how they're presenting and how it looks like it might play.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so the open world probably isn't going to be like Destiny, because, like, Destiny's open world is really just a large instance that you load into, and there's hundreds of loading screens in between everything, and it's horrible. I don't think it'll be quite like that, but I think it'll be a little bit more...
It might be on console, and I'm not taking a bash at consoles. I don't see how they're going to do it without it.
But my main concern is, so far, if you look at everything that they've shown us as far as content goes... You go in and you do this mission to get loot. You go into the dark zone to get loot. You go into this to get loot. I feel like the whole purpose is just this gear grind, and to me, that can get really boring really, really fast.
But what if the gear is really good?
Well, the one thing I do like is that you can take, if you kill someone, you can take that loot. But it's like then once you have the loot, like as part of your loadout. There's no risk of ever losing that. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I want more risk in games. It's kind of driving me crazy. But
to me, this looks a lot like they're doing a little hand waving, like, ignore all the RPG stuff. It's really more like an RPG, but no, it's a shooter. It's a shooter. And I think when it finally comes out, we'll find out that it's a lot closer to an RPG than they're kind of selling it as.
Well, yeah. I mean, think of the first trailer. It was, I mean, how many times did they say open world FPS? And then remember the end of that first trailer when it was like, oh, contact coming in, and then they enter in a gunfight just randomly in the street, and they show all the groups around, and it's just, clearly letting you think that like this open world, you can have this engagement anywhere, anytime. I was all about that. I was super hyped about that. And here we go, like where it's like, haha, you saw this over here, but really we're over here. You know, it's like, you know, I just want. I mean, that's what I mean. I feel like they're reacting to our reaction, and then they're like, they don't really know what they're doing. They made a pretty game, but, you know, then it's like, and like, I'm just bringing one detail that I did add on here. I think it was Jack Frags' video. It's like, there's no local voice, like the public.
Oh,
like,
yeah, the public.
And I'm just like, that's not a big thing, and it can be fixed. But if you're making the game I want, that's one of the first things you have to make. Like, so if you don't have this and nobody ever thought to do this, what are you making? Like, where this isn't needed? It's like, I can't speak to these random people I encounter. Like, so what are you doing while you're playing? I don't know. Like, like little clues are leading up to me. Like, I don't understand what you're making here.
You have to read their body language.
Yeah, it's like, and then, yeah, you hover, it says non-hostile agent or whatever it says. Well, yeah, because they haven't shot me in the face yet. Like, that's just like, I don't know.
So
but if you kill too many people, you turn red or something.
DayZ and all these other survival shooters, it's just going to devolve into shoot on sight.
Well, they do. Sure, I'm okay with that. That's, you know, because then I don't do that, and it adds a certain other level of challenge. You just accept that you're going to die a lot, but I think every game that's free and open like that is going to devolve into that. But I take more offense when people try to put mechanics and structure in there to try to remove that.
I'm remembering the fake voiceover they did for this trailer, and it just blew my mind how painfully bad it was. Especially the ending where it was like, I can't believe you're doing this. I don't think people would stay in character for that part.
Right. Yeah, but one thing, let's give him one. Yeah, that's terrible. I'm gonna give him one kudos. They cut the app. They cut the third party iPad guy that flies around. They decided it was OP apparently, and they cut it. Good for them. Like, they got their marketing out of it, I guess, so that it's no big deal at this point.
Either no one cares about those gimmicks anymore, so
well, yeah, I mean, Battlefield proved that, right? But from what I heard, they heard it was OP, which I could see it being in this game. If you have some guy flying around with a drone, and drones and homing missiles are a big deal. So, but my other concern here, and maybe if you guys have played games more like this. I've only dabbled with the cover systems, where clearly it's like that magnetic cover system, and I don't tend to like that much. I don't really hate it, but I'd rather free flowing and just it seemed very like slow gunfights and tons of damage to kill somebody, which again not necessarily a bad thing. But again, I think like Paul here, it's more like an RPG. Exactly, that's what I was just gonna say.
You can't have a lot of loot if all the guns are gonna be the same, so you have to have this big health bar or whatever to whittle down so that the little guns feel less powerful than your super rare loot.
Yeah, I'm not a big loot guy, but as long as I have the carrot at the end of the stick that brings other people in that I can kill, I'm cool with that. Like you want the loot, you got to come in there, you got to face other people. Like I would just camp the helicopter probably. Be like, cool, as you guys come in with your loot, I won't even pick up the loot from you. I know you're gonna come back, so I'm just looking for the combat. It's just, but I don't know. It's sad that I guess we still have a year, but this is our second E3, and I feel like we don't know what this game is. So, and it's another one that could be so awesome, and it could just be one I don't end up buying. It's really weird. So, I don't know. Does anybody else have any last thing to add before I interrupt you again and move on?
I got nothing else for it.
All right, what do we got? We have talked about that. You guys can look at the doc. If I missed anything, chat. You got any games? I'm just gonna keep scrolling down.
Let's talk about Just Cause 3.
It was the next one there because we already kind of talked about this. You guys are on your own on this one because I never really got into this one. I think I own it. I played it a little bit, but not 3 obviously, but Explosion Wingsuit Grapples. I didn't even see this one, and again, this would have been nice to have had in there earlier. But
Just Cause 2 is a blast.
Polly. And multiplayer is the only one that really intrigued me.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have multiplayer other than the mod that's kind of half broken, which makes it kind of fun anyway. But the game itself is just mayhem is the currency that they literally call it in Just Cause 2. The more mayhem you cause, it's kind of part of the leveling up system in that game. But yeah, it's just fun to run around and blow stuff up.
Carnage. Yeah.
That's all you... It does have a story which is kind of over-the-top, goofy, crazy, so it's worth going through quickly because you do some crazy stuff and it does teach you some of the things you can do, some of the tricks. But mostly it's going around, taking out the enemy bases and, flying around with your parachute and your grappling hook and doing goofy stuff like, what happens if I hook a helicopter to this, building? What happens if I hook a guy back to this car, All sorts of that goofiness, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, I love how they just embrace it. They just, this game is not anything. It's everything. It's just crazy. It's what you make of it. And
it's just a goofy, explosive sandbox to just do silly things.
That's what
they're going the Saints Row direction with it then.
A little bit. I mean, Just Cause 2 was already so way over the top that I was excited to see Just Cause 3 somehow manages to even push it further. Which I would never have guessed after playing Just Cause 2, because it's just so over the top. I'm also excited that you guys wouldn't know this, but you can move in stunt position now, because you can get on what they call stunt position on vehicles, so you can ride on the wing of a plane or on top of a car, and then kind of move around it. They've adjusted that a lot, where you can kind of like freely move a lot more now. They've added a wingsuit into the game that looks like basically Superman, if you watch the footage of it.
No, I'll have to watch this.
You hardly have to do anything at all to keep in the air, it looks like. So I'm excited. Just Cause 3 looks awesome.
I didn't get
Unlimited C4. Come on.
Now they have multiplayer built in
right now.
Is that what it is? I mean, are they're incorporating the multiplayer now, or are they going to leave it up to mods?
No, they've said that they're not. But the funny thing is, the people who did the Just Cause 2 multiplayer mod, they've actually shown them the code for Just Cause 3 already. So it's like they're not doing it, but they kind of are, sort of.
Plus, if it never happens, they've still teased it, so people will still buy the game thinking it will come. So, yeah.
I mean, if they do it, they gotta polish it better than the mod for 2, because it's definitely a mod. You would never find it in a fully polished AAA game at all. It's half broken, but that's part of what made it so just over the top crazy. I forget what the player limits were, but having so many people running around in there is not optimized at all.
Right.
We have not talked about Cuphead, and I'm going to try to give the chat this one here, so I'm going to interrupt because I was going to go to a different game, but it's side scroller, right? I'm thinking of the same game.
Yeah, it's an indie side scroller thing that looks like old 20s Disney.
Yes, that's right, nostalgia. Yeah,
that's what Cuphead is. Apparently, it's very, very difficult and mostly sort of long boss battles is what that game is. From what I read, I don't know. It looks really
only
cool.
boss battles, I think, right? I've only heard like from other podcasts I've watched. This is not my genre, so it's not my wheelhouse. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people excited about this. Yeah. I will have to watch that one because I'm curious to just see how the art style of this game. But
it's a small indie game I will probably pick up at some point when it comes out.
Yeah, it's like that. What's the other one that everybody's talking about? Yarny or whatever. It's
the
kind
guy
of
that
like
was
this
super nervous.
Yeah, like that I saw.
I felt bad for him.
I almost might buy his game because of that. Like that, I just want to support the dude.
And you don't see those at E3 very often.
And he's that invested in his product. That's fantastic. I want him to be successful just for that. If the game could suck.
That's called
Unravel, right? And the thing's name is Yarny, right, or something.
It's like a puzzle platformer thing that I don't know.
Again, it's probably a game I'll never play, but I might buy it just to show that guy's support and like the passion.
Yeah.
I gotta respect the passion. That's all. So, yeah. Sorry, Juan. We don't know much about Cuphead. Thank you, Polly, for covering that. So let's throw one out there that I think we're going to disagree on, according to the notes here.
Last week.
Yeah, I tried my best, but I didn't catch very much live, so I had to like go through.
Yeah.
I relied on Pixel Enemy big time that week because they would just reproduce every trailer as they were released. Let's talk about No Man's Sky, and I assume this is you, Puppy, yelling at me in the dock here.
Well, I started to, and then Polly helped me yell.
Yeah, I know.
I just added some detail that you were wondering.
Yeah,
why is it different? This is what they did.
No, and you're right. It's like I said, I was just kind of watching this. I did most of this doc in one night where I was just watching trailer after trailer, just writing stuff, spewing out of my brain. No Man's Sky, and my question for this, I'm going to let you guys answer it. What do you do? Like, the tech is incredibly, like, I feel like they're making an engine. Like, again, what do you do with this game? That's my thing. Like, if I buy this,
I assume
what do you do with
it? The coattail game for Chris Roberts' game, which is his name I cannot remember all of a sudden. Damn it.
No, that's not it. It's one where they fly from planet to planet and galaxies.
It kind of looks like it. It kind of looks like it, though. Nope, not Starlancer. Damn it. Star Citizen. That's it.
Oh,
it is not Star Citizen.
No, it's ambitious as maybe, but
other than it's in space.
Yeah, it's a space game, but this is like the
seems to have some
what's
first-person shooting, some pilot shooting. Oh.
No, they showed some combat a little bit, didn't they? Or aggressive monsters that you on a planet.
Game is kind of intergalactic Minecraft. It's an exploration game. You don't have as much of like building like you'd have in Minecraft, but you collect resources, you upgrade your equipment, your ship and things, which allows you to go further at a time.
It's all about like finding planets and putting your name on them. Basically,
apparently it even has a GTA style wanted meter in it because there's some sort of robot faction that protects the planets you're on. And you literally have like a star rating system from some of the people that played it at E3. It was actually playable this year, so we got some actual.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Comments on it, yeah. I forget which site it was. There's also like about a 5 or 6 minute just pure gameplay video of it that I watched, and now I can't remember where that was.
Well, because that's what I mean. What these guys are bashing on me for is I said this is virtually the same trailer we've seen for like the third time now, like, and you're right. This one was live, and again, I'm amazed by the tech.
It kind of is, but they've added some stuff like the HUD and some other things that they hadn't done. But I like.
But my point is, like, the same demonstration of the game is he's doing the same thing each time. He's flying into a planet, looking at it, flying out of a planet. And as impressive as that is as a tech demo, and I could see other gamers, if they open this up with a developer kit and other, I could see doing amazing things with this. But what are you like? I can't do that 10 times and be. It's like what? How many times am I at a planet hop? What am I doing when I'm there? And they did hint at that. Like we saw some of the monsters that were aggroed them and things, and they hinted at a build. Like, I mean, I think we said the last E3 podcast we did was like, if you took like Minecraft, mashed it with this, like when you get down onto the planet, now you're playing Minecraft, and then when you fly away, you go to another, like, then we got something here, like. But even Minecraft's a little loosely, like.
Let's make a game that's every game.
Well, apparently, they're being very mysterious with it because they want to sort of just give it to players and then what is this, and discover it, kind of like Minecraft was at the beginning. And that's sort of their goal. Whether they'll be successful with that or not, who knows? We'll see.
And maybe there's a market of guys that just want to fly around and explore, and maybe I just can't appreciate that because that's not me. No, I have some of that, and I might get a decent number of hours, but it's like then you do it a second time. And then, like, are you gonna do it a third time? Like, I just
sort of get to the center of the universe, but there's probably something we're supposed to do there. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah,
you're supposed to find God, like in Star Trek 5.
Yeah, but then
then you got to ask him why he needs a starship.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm supportive of this game. Again, I'm massively impressed by the what do they call it? Random generated. You know, it's just. Like I said, I almost want them to just be like, you know what, guys, it's not a game. We're just going to make this, a mod kit. It's an engine, hand it out, somebody else go crazy, and somebody's going to build something amazing on this. But I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, it's such a tiny team making it that it's so amazing how good it looks even at this point.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. But
is that a custom engine, or are they using somebody's tech?
Nah,
yeah, they're making it all from scratch. I was just going to
say, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah, didn't they get like flooded out or something, and that's why they're like delayed or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, their studio flooded at one point.
And it's just like, yeah, but they're really super small and ambitious as hell. You know, like it's. But I mean, if they've delivered on the it's like all the games we play right now, right? And they're like, they are games that can't deliver on the tech. And here's a game that's delivering on the tech, and it just doesn't quite have, to me, the hook. It doesn't have like. What am I doing? Like, why can't Star Citizen be like, hi, I'm Star Citizen. I have $100 million. Let's do something together. Like, and there you go. You got Star Citizen. It's out the door finally. You know, I don't know. It's just...
One day that'll be a game.
Yeah.
What
we'll
do
see
you
if they
do
can
with
do
this
this,
game?
but I'm assuming it'll become like this is early Minecraft version of this game, and then over time it will change. Maybe they're going to do that, maybe not. I don't know. They haven't really said what their plans are.
I don't know, and maybe it will. Like, maybe I'm just the old guy that doesn't get Minecraft. You know, like, but I get Minecraft, but you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't get Minecraft. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Like, I don't know what I do, but I love it. You know, like, so maybe it's going to have that. I hope it does, but I don't know. I think I was just, again, like, all right, I'd like to see the story, or not the story, but just like tell me something about this game. Like, and again, they did just the same presentation again. Like, was it more impressive? Yes, but it's the same idea. We're planet hopping, and I was like, okay, I think that's kind of all this is going to be. Some people are going to love that, but
yeah, I think for people where they're at, like where you are, it'll take the Let's Plays coming out when it gets released, and then you'll be like, oh, I get it, and then you can decide whether that's for you or not.
Yeah, I still may buy it just again because I think the first playthrough you'll really enjoy it. That feeling of exploration, but then it's just kind of like, oh, okay, what do I want to do something? I want to build something and defend it, you know, that kind of thing.
I think that needs to be at least a central point, because I think with any game you kind of want a point where you can build upon something, and I think that's kind of what you're hoping for, Cooper, is just like a sense of progress beyond just, all right, work your way towards the center of the universe by exploring. Like, you want a little bit more of a sense of progress. Like Minecraft lets you have a sense of progress by building an epic mansion or
collecting stuff. And
I did hear a tidbit that might make you happy, puppy. Someone name dropped Red Faction for style of destruction. You can dig down. I forget how far they said, but just literally dig down into the planet and destroy it procedurally.
When you reach the center of the universe, you find Peter Molyneux there giving you a speech about life.
Just sit there.
It's Morgan Freeman, and he's there.
Oh, I'm sold. There you go. I'm with Frahada here in the chat, and I'm just gonna read his question verbatim, and maybe the panel, you guys can help me with it. Could someone explain to me the big deal? And I have a feeling this is gonna be Polly. The big dealio with the Shenmue game. I never heard of it until E3. It was crowdfunded in about 36 seconds. Didn't really need to be because Sony was gonna pay for it anyway. So the whole crowdfunding thing was just.
If you had a Dreamcast, you were excited for Shenmue.
Didn't have one. So
if you didn't have a Dreamcast, you never played Shenmue.
I'm excited that people are excited, but I don't get it at all either. But people were losing their goddamn minds over this game, and I was like...
Well, it's kind of one of the first examples of a big open kind of sandbox style game.
Was it?
That at the time there was nothing like it, but now it's everywhere. So
yeah, that's true.
You couple that with nostalgia for this thing that people have been asking for a long time, and they're going to be excited for it. And there's enough people there that the Kickstarter just took off, but it's still not as big of an audience as some other games. But there's plenty of vocal Shenmue fans out there. They're very loud.
Oh yeah, well that's true. That's fine. That's fine. But I thought it was funny how Sony
that's awesome.
Sony parades these people out and then pretends like they need a Kickstarter. It's like, like whatever, like if that's fine. People that I was just like, this is retarded. Now you started trying to use this as marketing, but it seems to have worked. So I'm gonna do one more game, if and then we're gonna move on because we got a couple other things. I'm just trying to keep moving. There's obviously games we haven't touched on. I think we've kind of kissed at least on a lot of things. So Chad, if we missed anything you want us to talk about, please mention it. We'll go back, no problem, because we're gonna move on to some of the non-game things. There's a couple of good ones I want to talk about, but one that kind of intrigued me. Sea of Thieves, right? That's the one that was kind of the MMO, right?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the one I said?
It looks kind of like an MMO made by Rare.
Like Disney or something, like or like
Rare.
Nintendo or something,
Yeah, it's
right?
Rare.
Like,
Rare's actually making a new game. What?
It looks like they're gonna make a good game.
I want to make sure this is the game I'm thinking of because I'm pretty sure it is, right?
Rare's been making mobile games for the past.
Yeah, this is the game. Right.
Um,
I was into this game. Boat battles, man. I'm all about the boat battles. Yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't know I wanted this, didn't know I needed this, but I'm on board. So yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. This was like I said, where I mentioned For Honor. Didn't see this coming. Had no inkling this was out there, and then those are the games I like at E3. Like obviously I want to watch for the Battlefront footage and all these things, but I don't get hyped for that stuff. Like I want to be surprised. It's part of the process for me in gaming. So Sea of Thieves, I was like, okay, and then maybe because maybe I can see myself playing with my boys and stuff, and it just seems like a game. You know, like let's just have some fun. Make somebody walk the plank. How awesome is that? Like, such a simple little thing. But I mean, I don't know. I was pretty hyped for this game. Would you guys check this one out, Darth? You kind of look like you didn't.
For Honor or wait, which
no,
one?
Sea of Thieves, the little cartoony pirate. Watch the trailer, man. Looks like good fun.
That's why E3 this year was super exciting because we had several surprises that we didn't know were coming, where we haven't had that as much in previous years lately. So.
Right, like we used to know like the games that were coming, but then like the trailers themselves
we had stuff
would like bug us
Sea of
out.
Thieves, we had For Honor, we had a few other ones that we had
Final
no idea
Fantasy,
before
Shenmue,
E3, and then they came out and you're like, ooh, cool. Yeah. We haven't had as much of that, in the last several E3s, so that was nice to see this year. Surprises are awesome.
Yeah, that's what I mean. To me, it's just like everybody should just relax at E3 and not be so critical. Obviously, I'm speaking to myself here. Just enjoy it. Like, if you're not gonna be hyped at E3, then what the hell are you playing games for? It's like there's plenty of time to be pessimistic later, like on a podcast 2 weeks later. But it's like have fun with it. So like when you just see one, like I remember watching this game, I was like, all right, is this like Viva Pinata? Which I actually was in. It's like it's this real cartoony. Like I was like, what is this? And then all of a sudden this ship comes in the harbor. I'm like, oh shit, pirates! I'm sold. It's like yeah. And I remember they made the guy walk the plank, and I'm like, you can make people walk the plank. I'm in. I'm so in on this. And then the ship crashes, and I don't know. I'm in. I'm checking this one out. There was no release date on this, was there? I don't have one on here.
No.
But it looked like it was pretty far along. I mean, there's not much. It's not like it's like a visual masterpiece, so I would hope sooner rather than later.
I think it's going to be a little bit later.
You think so? Okay.
Isn't exactly a studio that develops like really HD stuff, though.
Yeah.
But that's fine though. Like as long as your art style is entertaining in different ways or engaging in different ways, I should say. So, yeah. Well, Puppy, you're mentioning the Rare replay, which is that was the 30 games. Dude, I thought when I first saw that there was the RC Pro-Am. I was like, tell me they're remaking RC Pro-Am. I will go bananas.
To me, from what I could see from watching the trailer, it doesn't look like they're actually gonna HD remaster any of it. It looks like it's all just straight ported.
It's almost like backwards compatible, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
which I'm actually okay with, just because a lot of those games are for consoles and stuff.
Battletoads,
so old that we don't, that stuff doesn't even
pain in the ass.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's a ton of games in there. Trying to remake every single one would be a huge task and probably not worth the money.
Right, but I mean,
I'm totally cool with that.
30 of these games that we all can recall from playing, and it's only $30. Like I'm all for that. Like I said,
oh yeah, I'm gonna get this. Just like I said, RC Pro-Am was my jam back in the day, and then Battletoads. I don't even know what's in it. Like I just remember seeing, I'm like, oh my god, it's cool. Yeah. And it's almost like a nod to gamers. It's just like, here you go. 30. I was like, I'm down with that. So, yeah, that was kind of cool. I was just like, okay. Like, this is like, I didn't even know I needed these games back in my life. And then I was seeing them like, oh my god, that's right. So, that's always fun. Like I said, that's one of those things, too. It's fun to be excited about old nostalgic-y things, too.
Before we move on, I actually was reminded while we were talking about the Shenmue.
Shenmue something.
Yeah, sure.
Shenmue.
That one. Because that one's a crowdsourced and all that, and kind of indie looking. I was actually reminded of an indie game, and it's not that I'm looking forward to this game. I actually wanted to have a bit of rant about it, and I hope you guys are okay with this.
Rant again? No, rants are not
Everyone
allowed.
loves a good rant.
Okay, during the Xbox presser, there was a 5-minute spiel in there or whatever where they showed a couple indie games, and all right, we'll backpedal a little bit more. For those of you who are new in this chat and are unaware, I am legally blind. That's out of the way. There's a game coming out called Beyond Eyes.
Yeah, that's right.
In which you get to play a little girl that's blind. Why the hell would I want to play a video game where I get to be what I already am?
Well, that's like me with Battlefield. It's kind of like...
maybe not. Other people, maybe they want to play.
See, I don't know. That one just...
I like it because it's an interesting, neat idea, and there's apparently another one out there that's kind of, you play as someone who's supposed to be blind. They're trying something new, whether it works or not.
Yeah, I'd have to know more about what this is. Yeah, if it's like a puzzle game, or you have to rely on your senses or something, it said, which, I mean, obviously, it makes, if you're going with that.
Have they made a Daredevil game yet?
No, Rudy, yeah. If you're making something like that, but...
From what I saw, the little bit they had, it basically and that was the other thing that had me kind of bothered too with the way that they were approaching the game, is it's you're playing a blind girl, but they don't actually look completely blind. Like, stuff has to be on the screen, otherwise what else would you be looking at?
I haven't seen the trailer.
And essentially what it reminded me of was a very, very, very colorful game. Just any kind of first-person game. Imagine the color bumped up to like My Little Pony puking rainbows style of brightness, and then turn down your game's fog until you can only see like 5 feet in front of you, and then turn the fog to white. And that is the game. That's
Silent Hill.
Yeah, they look just like that.
It's like horrors. Yeah, jump scares. It's not a game for me, but like I you know, you almost feel like they'd almost like this, make this for like an awareness game, like like live a day in the life of someone, have a little more compassion. You know, it's like I don't know, but maybe.
This would be a weird application, but I think it would work in VR. But you don't have anything there. You just use the VR as sensory deprivation and have positional sound. Do something with that.
That would be weird.
That would be more interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be scary as shit.
Yes, it would.
I'm like, dude, no way.
What was that sound?
Helen Keller Simulator, exactly, Agent A. Well, welcome to the cast, sir. I did mention you earlier about me sitting on my nuts, so I sent him a tracking confirmation. So your shirt is in the mail, sir. So we're gonna move away from games, like I said. If you guys want to talk about games, like we said, we've kind of added. We're jumping back and forth. I just would like to kind of cover everything, and it was a couple of things that were more hardware-y. And first, I think I guess we'll let Polly and Puppy just go crazy while Darth and I use the facilities for a little bit. But let's talk about the Minecraft. It's not even a Minecraft thing, but the HoloLens, which they displayed and featured for Minecraft. And I think this is pretty cool. Like, I mean, whether this is going to be like a big deal or not, I don't know. But I thought it was really cool. Like, I still don't really know what it is. Like I said, I would almost rather see this using like. They might not even have the capabilities of doing like shoutcasting and things, or like monitoring like competitive matches of another game, like where you have this like third-person perspective down, and because when he was doing the lightning on stuff and blowing people up, I was like, oh god, I could have a lot of fun with this playing God, basically, So, what did you guys? I'm just reading your notes now. I didn't read them before, but Polly, we'll start with you. What do you think about the HoloLens? And obviously, speak further onto other games, but. Like I saw, there was an article saying what other games might be better than Minecraft for this, and one was like obviously Besieged. I was like, I could see that would be really cool with this, but like, and obviously with your background in Minecraft, what do you think about that?
I think some sort of RTS type games would be cool with it. I think it's a neat piece of tech, but we still haven't seen exactly why any just regular person would want to buy it.
Right.
But it'd be something that we need to play with.
It needs to get out there and let other people play with it. Yeah.
Apparently,
Microsoft is continually working towards the holodeck.
Pretty much.
They had demos at E3 that people could actually get hands-on with. It wasn't the Minecraft stuff. It was separate things. So they had like a Halo experience. There was just sort of some Halo-themed thing where they start you off here, and then they put a waypoint down the hallway, and you have to walk down there, and then they have some like holographic displays of ships and stuff. And then they had some other separate thing where you were shooting bugs that were crawling out of the walls and flying at you.
No, thanks. I'm good.
But apparently the window is like about this big, like your field of view on the glasses. It doesn't take your whole vision like it seemed with the Minecraft thing.
Oh, so they put the good the good vision on the camera.
Yeah, it's simulated, but apparently like the tracking and all that works. You know, just like it. You know, they're showing you there. It's just the window for where you're actually seeing it is smaller. Yeah, and what you can kind of communicate on a video when you're trying to display the tech, it's kind of different when you're wearing it versus what they're trying to show you.
Because I'm with Aardvark in the chat. He's like, Minecraft runs like crap 2D on your screen. Like you need a pretty, you wouldn't think so, but you need a pretty beefy PC to run Minecraft at, you know, infinite draw distance and all that stuff. So when they were showing us, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then they started doing stuff, and I'm like, it's actually tech-wise, it's kind of like No Man's Sky. Tech-wise, it's pretty impressive. Yeah. You know, like there was, it wasn't flying, but it was, again, and the person was mining down, and remember they scrolled down. And I was like, it's pretty cool, but like, yeah, like what? I mean, how is a console gonna do this? Is that I don't see
think it's
that
necessarily.
Like, that'll be the Xbox.
I don't know.
Xbox 37. Yeah, I'm not trying to hate, but I was like, I'm thinking my PCs that, I mean, I have a laptop here that's not that bad. It can barely run 2D Minecraft with like medium settings. And I'm like, how are you going to 3D project? It's like sometimes you want to know, like you want them to list the specs that they're displaying this on. You're like, oh, okay, God computer, I get it. But it was still very cool. Like I think your note said. Pup, what did you think as far as a Minecraft aficionado there?
I thought it was pretty. Hold on, did I unmute myself? Yeah. Okay. I thought it looked really cool. To paint you a picture of what was happening, I was watching E3 and my children were off watching TV, and I think my wife was actually home doing something else. And then that bit came on, and I don't really, like, I just watched the whole thing, but I remember as soon as it ended, I just kind of leaned back and realized that everyone was all of a sudden surrounding me and watching.
Right, because it was something different.
Yeah, because of how unique it was. I think it looks pretty cool. It looks a little gimmicky, and I imagine it's going to be a great deal more pricey than the audience that Minecraft is geared at.
Yeah, sure.
Which
I think people lose sight of the fact because we were just watching it. That like you have to have these glasses on to see this. Like we were just watching on our screens. Like wow, this is cool. You walk through the living room, and on the table is Johnny's little castle. You know, like no, like you actually have to play a game with this, but
I imagine you're gonna have to pay a good chunk of money, and I imagine little Johnny and all of them are gonna be wanting it, and it's gonna be super expensive. So
well, that's the goal, really, just to have your kids bother you for things that you have to buy.
They make this like Leisure Suit Larry compatible, and I am all about that. Like I'll buy this in a second.
One of the things I actually that I saw with this that actually had me rather interested though is because lately, well not lately, it's been a while now since I started doing it, but Microsoft released their all their source code and everything for working with the Kinect and developing software and things to work and function with the Kinect for purposes of making things outside of the video game world. And there's been a lot of crazy stuff out there, like you see. There's doctors that have Kinects in the operating room to help perform various tasks and things like that, as far as some of the tech that goes on there. And I can foresee this Xbox HoloLens kind of also filling the same role if they're willing to let go of the source code for it and see it have some other purposes outside of video games. Just because of the way it allows.
But I'm not interested in that, puppy.
Well, you may not be
video
interested,
games, sir. I'm just trying to think of that like a mechanic kind of thing where you almost like 3D, like you know.
I skimmed through a video yesterday or today where they were using it in conjunction with NASA. It looked like an interesting way of having ground personnel interact with people. Say on the International Space Station, where they could show them schematics, etc., on the screen, while at the same time seeing exactly what the astronaut sees.
Yeah, see, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, like I said, like it's interesting tech. It's just like where, like I just like you said, like is it gonna get in the house first of all? You know, like it's gotta be cheap.
To me, that seems to be more the audience that it would sell better to. Would be the industrial stuff. Or tech companies. I don't really see it selling very well in the home, personally.
Yeah, and I think that, and like you're kind of saying, the games it's going to probably play best with are games that are kind of younger and simpler, like a Minecraft, which isn't really the demographic that meshes with it. Whereas, you know, you're not going to get the people with the disposable income that are playing the faster games. This thing's not going to be able to do that. So it's I don't know. It's weird, but I thought it was pretty. I was fully skeptical. I was yeah, whatever. Like, this is dumb. It's console shell. You know, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, well, actually, that's kind of cool. Holy shit, he just lightning torched his brother. Like, that's my son's be doing this nonstop. Yeah. Like, go stand by that tree. Zaps him. But you know. Yeah, price point's going to be a big thing. I don't think we've heard any indications on that at all, have we?
Nope.
We were asked to talk and comment on the Xbox One Elite controller.
Yeah, speaking of price points.
Yeah, well, that was what I argued. But
people will buy it.
Was it Juan? I think was it that we were talking with, and he was saying, you know, I've spent close enough to that on my peripherals. So I mean, that's a fair point. If you're you know, you play on Xbox One all the time, I can see why you might want to upgrade. But as far as the rest of us, or if someone that wants just a controller for their PC, or it's a little ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of
already available.
Though. Yeah, scuffs. Like, but scuffs are cheaper.
Supposedly, once you put it in your hands, you never want to put it down again, and you feel like angels are caressing your balls. So.
Oh, it has an attachment for that. All right, let's see. Pre-order right now. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that the build quality is great. Anybody that's actually held one said it feels good and it's great, and they were like, "I'll buy one," because they probably were given one. But I'm just like, I mean, $150 for a controller, and maybe that's a PC gamer in me, where it's just like it sits over here only for when I need it.
Yeah.
But you know,
I think what they're going for are the people who already buy these types of controllers from other companies. They just want their official version of it. Plus, this one, why you would want to get it over some of the other ones is it's customizable after you get it. You have these parts, you can swap them in and out.
They probably said that, hey, there's a premium controller market out there, and it would be stupid not to do something for it. I mean, I'm sitting behind a $110 keyboard right here.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, is it going to be for everyone? No, but I think there's definitely going to be people that get it, for sure. But
I don't think they were expecting it to be for everyone. They're just like, here's this market, let's make something for it.
I just think the entry point could have been a little lower.
Well, see, I'm okay with the price point there if the quality's there. Like, if this legit holds up like a scuff, or I'm assuming how scuffs hold up because I haven't bought one, then I'd say it'd probably be worth it. I just mentioned I got a third controller for Father's Day. That's because the other two don't really work the way they're supposed to.
Right, that's the problem. Well, I'm probably saying like probably how it's so modular. How you can, like, if it was $100 to enter, and then they just sold all these different, you know, skins and button colors and all this stuff like that. I could see they'd make their money, but I don't know, just chalk down $150 out of the, you know, if the build quality's here, that's great. But I just don't ever see myself getting one, especially, you know, like what is it, the DualShock 4, the PS4. That's a pretty good controller. And you can make that work with other things. I mean, that's known for its build quality, whereas the Xbox, even guys that are like, I like the bigger control, or like, but the quality's kind of crap. It's like, here, we'll give you a stock crappy controller, but we have this really good high-end build controller. It's like, can we get something in the middle? Maybe make your normal controller good too, maybe? I don't know.
I think that would actually probably be best. Just
it doesn't have to be like this nice metallic feel to it and all that stuff, but like, can we just not make that one crap out after so long? There you go.
Controller you need.
There you go. Yeah, like I have some knockoff Xbox controller around here. Actually, shit, I don't know where it is. It was here. Cleaning people came today, so it's gone. And lastly, I guess we're going to talk about, I think we do this, we wrap up we usually do this on the post show, the virtual reality, VR. There's so many options.
So many choices.
Yeah.
So much missed opportunity.
Well, I've patented it. They can't encroach right now. We got the Oculus, the Morpheus.
Everybody seems to be going down this route. Do we actually have a proven market for...
As a gamer, is this something you really like? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it right away, anyway.
Okay, so to be fair, I played with the most recent Oculus prototype in the Aliens game, and that was a very different and amazing experience.
Yeah.
But will everything be like that? I don't know. I played other stuff on the Oculus and be like, well, this is neat, but I don't know if this is for everybody.
Right. That's what I would agree. It's going to be a niche thing, and it could make a really incredible niche. Like, it could, you know, the games that fit are going to fit really well.
But I don't know if there's a market there for 20 companies to try to be jumping into.
Yeah, if there's enough of a customer base. I mean, the competition's going to need to be there because it's going to have to get the price as low as possible. My big thing with these is movement. Like, obviously, it's going to be nice to stand there and look around and take the environment in 3D. But it's like, how are you going to, like, everybody's saying, like, DayZ and these games, like, but then how are you going to move? It's going to feel weird and, you know.
Well, I think there'll be a lot of different types of games made for it. If the market is there, they're going to be making games directly for VR rather than trying to adapt something like DayZ
if there's enough of an install base.
Yeah, and we're not there yet. They're still just going after getting this out and getting the early adopters on it.
But
they have shown off, like, did you see the Oculus Touch controllers?
No, I didn't see that part.
And I think the Valve one also has something similar, where it's things you hold in each hand, so you actually can have your hands in VR, and you can do finger gestures and all this stuff. Plus, it has control sticks and buttons all on it.
Brazzers is sponsoring this.
You could do that if you wanted.
Are we talking like straight up Nintendo glove here? Or?
That sounds about right.
It's so bad.
Made out of latex.
The nunchuck from a Wii remote, kind of with a little halo ring around it that has sensors so it can track it.
Okay.
Sort of
with
like
ribs.
That work.
Yeah. That's what it looks like anyway. I think it's still sort of technically a prototype. It's coming out a little bit after the Oculus itself comes out.
What is Oculus's price point right now?
I'd rather have the power.
It's like $200 or is it $300?
I don't know.
It's somewhere in there, right? I'm in chat. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember the price. I just know that they've said that they're packing in an Xbox controller with it and all this stuff.
My worry is that, like, you know, let's say you go get an Oculus, you spend even if it's $200, there's not going to be a lot of games initially for it. There's going to be games out there that you can use with it, I suppose. But then it's like a chicken or the egg thing. It's like they're not going to make games for something until there's enough of an install base. You're not going to buy one until there's enough, like, games for it. So it's like, where's the tipping point? It's got to be that critical app, I guess, is what they like to say. But, like, I don't know. Somebody's got to come up with some game, and it's probably going to have to be one of these actual companies that do it, or they'll have to buy that game.
Well, there's actually a lot of games that they showed at E3. A lot of them were for Morpheus, but like every single headset had a demo or two. They weren't. Some of them were fully fleshed games, but most of them were kind of like demos of, look, we can do this kind of a thing.
Fully fleshed games.
Yeah.
It'd be like a whole simulation games made by that one company. It's just gonna be flashlight games. But
the one that's from Starbreeze,
billions of dollars.
Why
of ideas
they're doing a VR headset, I don't know, but they're kind of cheating with their demo. They had a thing based on Walking Dead there at E3 where they put you in a wheelchair.
I didn't see this at all.
And then while you're in the VR space, someone hands you a shotgun, and then when the zombies are like attacking you, they will like shaking your chair and stuff. Like,
that's ghetto.
Cheating,
come on,
that's cheating.
What do you have? I don't even understand that. Like,
well, it's kind of
just turn the lights off in the room.
Yeah. They're trying to give you feedback that you never get at home, and it's just like, okay, yes, that's cool, but that's not something you're gonna get with VR headset.
Right. So then when you take it home, you're really pissed off because
no, it comes with a guy that shakes your chair for you.
Right. Yeah, that's so weird. I don't know. I didn't know about that at all. But
yeah. The thing that's different with their headset versus Oculus is it's much wider, so you get 210 field of view, so you get a lot more peripheral vision with that one, which is an interesting thing, but it's still just a prototype that who knows if anyone's ever going to want to buy these things.
I mean, I think, what is Valve doing here? Like, they're back in Morpheus, aren't they? Isn't it?
No, Valve has their own thing.
I thought they partnered with somebody. I don't know. I'm not up on this because I'm not going to be the early adopter, and I'm kind of going to be the skeptic. I mean, I'm excited for it. I hope it works out, but
it's cool that there's lots of different VR things out there because they will compete with each other and add more features.
Absolutely,
if it was just one by themselves and maybe drive prices down, and we'll see. We got a couple of them coming out early next year, so
yeah. I mean, to me, it's like
worth it or not.
The ones I'm going to pay attention to the Rift because they've just been in development for so long, and now they finally have some, the financial backing. Obviously, you can't sneeze at Sony, but and I've heard actually a lot of really good things in Morpheus. So just from this E3, so it's fine. But I just again a PS4 is really going to run virtual reality. They can't get 1080p at 60 frames. Like they're gonna. I don't know.
Dual 720 or maybe dual 320.
I don't see it. It's gonna be hard to sell me on that.
Whoa,
but
look at all this virtual reality.
I think what you'll see on the Morpheus will be different kinds of
Put a cell phone up
They
to your
won't
eye.
be-
Now you do that, Culprit, but I've actually seen a
I think
couple
that's a
of
prototype,
fairly
wasn't it?
decent cardboard virtual reality devices where
that-
you just slip your phone in, and it actually works pretty well.
I think that's didn't Oculus start that way somehow?
Oculus has one that's an official
Two
like,
screens or
mobile
something.
version of VR.
Yeah. Who's? Oh, I was like, oh, darn, they're making fun of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be the perpetual skeptic on VR. But this is one of those I absolutely hope to be proven wrong. But I will not be the early adopter on that.
Just like HoloLens, it's a neat piece of tech that's like, oh, I could play with that for a little while, but I'm not sure I'd want to buy it yet.
Like HoloLens, I would get just to put on my coffee table, so when like people come over, I just want to impress them. You know, like,
Hey, let's
check
play
out
some
my
Star
penis
Wars
castle.
Holo Chess.
Like,
That's what I want with that.
Yeah, like it would just be weird. But then, like you said, everybody has to wear glasses anyway, so it wouldn't really work. Or like you put it in a room through a window that is the lens, so people would just see your Minecraft shit without. It would be awesome. Like that stuff would be cool, but I'd of course have to be rich. That's kind of my stumbling block. So I don't know. The VR. I mean, the VR is obviously interesting, and I like that they keep throwing this stuff out. The HoloLens. I mean, again, it's one of those things I knew nothing of. Like I hadn't. I mean, maybe not. I'm not tapped in, but that was a nice surprise because I was having fun hating on the Xbox. Wasn't Sea of Thieves part of the Xbox One presentation too? Yep. Microsoft anyway. So I was like, yeah, this is retarded. This is dumb. Oh, indie games on an Xbox, sweet. And I was like, oh, that kind of looks interesting. That kind of looks cool. I'm not gonna. And then the HoloLens game, I was like, all right, dude, I'm not even gonna front. That looks really cool. Like, I don't know where we would use that, but Minecraft's a good example. So, and that was smart using Minecraft because everybody can identify with that to some degree. So, I don't know. I think that about covered it. Chat, did we miss any games? Because other than that, Puppy, I don't know if you've been writing down, but do we have some comment nominations?
I have some comments. Agent Agro actually earned his way back on there too.
Oh my goodness!
I wasn't sure if you wanted him on there or not. But.
Yeah, I'll make a custom T-shirt for him this time. So what do we got? How many do you have? Because I just want to make sure we get this in before I'm aware of about an hour and 40 minutes, and then YouTube chops me at 2 hours. So I like to get the show proper done in 2 hours. We can continue to talk after. Gentlemen, you're free to go after that or hang out if you're like me and have nothing else to do.
I saw 4 things that jumped out at me.
All right, what do you got? Hit me, boys. You can vote in on this too. I'm already voting for one if they don't make fun of me.
You're already voting for one.
Again, this is for Comment King. This is a little giveaway we're doing. Basically, if you make the best comment, jibe, make fun of me, whatever it is, just the best interaction. Obviously, we kind of favor those that hang around for the longest. You win a free T-shirt from my little store down below from Spreadshirt. So some free swag. Nobody can ever get upset by that. But here we go. We're going to vote on the winner, and we're going to award it right now.
A few of these will need some context. So at one point, I dropped out of the stream. When I came back, I said I forgot to pay my bills. Sorry about that. And Sociopath
you nominating
chimed
yourself?
In and said only because you couldn't see them.
Oh, I like the vision burn.
And then actually shortly after that, let's see, they were ragging on me again. Sociopath
where this is going.
My YouTube account and said, was pimping me out. And then Juan Enrique chimed in and said, "Wait, Puppy does YouTube?"
I think I say that every time I intro you, and I just stop mentioning it. Okay.
JP4C was ragging on Battlefront when we were talking about the speeder bikes. He said Battlefront Hotwire with speed bikes.
Oh God.
The sad part is he's probably not wrong. It's not even a joke.
Pretty funny.
People will play it. People will play it.
They'll level up with it.
And then Agent Eggroll was picking on me. I guess I was making a face or something. He said Puppy's got that weird facial expression. Because his mustache just changed smells, it's now a pine wood smell instead of new car smell.
All right, I have to go away from AJ Eggroll. And there's a vision burn. I gotta see where I'm going.
Everyone's been ragging on me tonight.
I know. This is not a culprit burn here. This is kind of weird. I don't know if I can award a winner. I'm trying to think. Kinda. I think I'm gonna have to go socio there myself. Guys, you got a favorite comment on that one?
I abstain. I haven't been paying enough attention, apparently. To
Bacardi, basically Bacardi.
I just been grazing as I go. This comment is delicious.
Puppy, which one are you going with? I'll let you kind of.
They were burning me. I got to pick one. I hate all of them.
I had to pick last time, and it was about my nuts getting sat on.
JP just because he wasn't picking on me.
All right, there you go. Puppy break the tie. We got Socio talking about Puppy's lack of vision. We got JP talking about actual in-game things about the Hotwire mode.
Bobby, what you got?
I'll go with that one, the Hotwire mode one.
There you go.
Made me laugh.
JP4C with the Hotwire dig on the hardline digs are always welcome here right now. So it's kind of
Easy target.
Yeah, it's kind of putting on a T right now. But hit me up either Twitter, email. You can find all that information below, I think, or you can send like a Twitch private message. I'm gonna need your kind of mailing info and stuff like that, and I will send you something over. Check out the store below and tell me which one you want. One of the T-shirts, that's fine. Just let me know. Just get in contact with me. We can figure this out another time. So thank you for hanging out and commenting. Obviously, we always appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for burning Puppy tonight. That always makes it feel a little bit special. I love how it was my birthday cast last time, and it was all about me. But now, all right, at least you guys are next week. It'll be Darth or something, or next time somebody else will get the roast. So, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about as far as E3 goes?
Fallout 4? Huh?
Again, you want to circle back around? Because I'm just trying to say, I don't know if we got a couple minutes here. We got because I don't think we really necessarily missed anything. Yeah, we actually think we at least touched on everything. Even needs for Speed, Mass Effect. You talked about Dishonored 2, you guys, Uncharted.
Yeah, we didn't talk like Mirror's Edge or Hitman.
Yeah, I got a couple of these like grouped in here that I just kind of jumped.
Doom.
I'm not a Doom guy, so yeah. I mean, you guys, by all means, I'm not interested in it. I mean, I know what it is legacy wise, but I have no interest in it.
Did you never play Doom?
No, I think I did play Doom, but I didn't play it a lot.
Did you ever play it multiplayer?
Isn't that the only way? That's all I played those games was multiplayer.
Yeah, so you must have played on like a modem or something.
Yeah, I was like at friends' houses and doing that, but that's something. No, it's definitely Doom. Yeah, we read. Yeah, that like when I think of Doom and even like what was it, Quake, and then I think of like 007, or like those early multiplayer games. I kind of lump them all together, which is not the same, but
I just got a wave of nostalgia thinking about modem Doom and having to like disconnect all the phones in my house so my friends
so nobody interrupted
at 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock at night so I could play.
I had my father had a separate line in the basement for his business, and I rerouted that upstairs, and I would go down and just turn the ringer off before I went to bed. Yeah, my parents were oblivious. Yeah. But now it's funny. It's because what you had to do, right? Mm-hmm. Until you got the phone bill. And that was it was a great month, though, man. Let me tell you.
I always played against local players, so.
But it's still, I mean, the hours would accrue, and it would just be like, holy crap.
Not on MCI, man. It's 10 cents a call, no matter how long. Remember when like calling plans were like hot? Yeah. The 90s were a special time.
Oh, yes.
Oh, goodness. Aren't you so glad you asked about Doom? I'm just trying to catch up on chat now.
Look, okay.
Thanks for coming out, man. Have a good night. Have a good weekend.
My thing with Doom is, to me, it was popular back then because it was one of the first that did what it did. And I think now it's not the only one doing it anymore. And I just don't think there's enough of a draw, personally.
For Doom now?
One of the things, I heard this
it's a nostalgia draw.
So one of the things apparently they did is they had made Doom 4 and got it to a playable state and decided it was too much like Call of Doom. It's too much like what's out there right now, so they decided to go back to the roots and just make it an arena shooter. And I'm actually more excited about that because arena shooters really aren't done a whole lot. Like you get a little bit of that with Titanfall, and I think there's a couple of places that have been doing some arena shooters, but it's I don't know. It's one of those.
There's not a lot of big arena shooters,
right?
Yeah, I agree, and I do miss myself a good arena shooter, but I think that your average player just doesn't like him. Plus, especially now with I mean, you can recall when you were talking about the modems and whatnot. I mean, your arena shooters depend very, very much on the connection that you have, and
that's just. I do remember that.
Yes, I think a lot of people aren't going to be too keen on it just because they'll play it a little bit and then they'll get frustrated because they're not running on a T1 internet or whatever, what have you.
Yeah, it is. I hadn't really thought about how they were going to handle that, but I'm just
I think it looked okay, just not a game for me.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I'm cool with it, and I'll pay attention to his dev just to see how they do it. Because like Dart's saying, especially if they try to make it a little different and stand out from the crowd, I'm always interested in how games do that, even if it's not what I pick up. But we'll see. It's just not a theme that I'm into. Just trying to see what else is in here. Duke Nukem and Wolfenstein.
I need to play the most recent Wolfenstein game. Apparently, it was really good.
Wasn't there just DLC for it or something? Is that right? Or am I thinking of the original game?
Hardware. Haven't we learned from Duke Nukem and Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we learned anything from Duke Nukem? The lesson from Duke Nukem Forever is, number one, don't let your development studio have infinite time to develop things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at you, Valve. Number two...
Confirmed.
Number two, don't switch development studios after 10 years and ask the second studio to finish a turd in 6 months.
Just get it out the door.
Make us back our money, please. And number three, I think the better marketing strategy for Duke Nukem Forever would have just been to release it and not mention that you would let it go and just have everybody go, did you hear it's on the shelves? What?
Yeah. Before people could like even ask a question, they would just buy it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's what's gonna. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
I think anybody that got suckered on that one deserved it because.
There's a good point. Has anybody played Arkham Knight?
No, I avoided this one. I saw this. Listen, when they don't hand out review codes, stay as far away from that game as possible. That's pretty much the law of the land.
Well, they've
these
removed
days.
it from sale now. The PC version does not exist for sale.
I've heard it's a good game from the guys that don't have a problem with it. I've actually heard really good impressions of the game. It looks
really good as a game, but yeah,
doesn't work.
If it doesn't work, you can't get to that good game part.
And they knew. They like I said, they didn't hand out PC review codes, and that is a huge warning sign. Like they knew it was broken. So.
Well, that's the same warning sign as movies. If there are no pre-reviews for a movie, you pretty much guarantee you it's going to be a terrible movie.
Yeah, I would say over the last year or two, when I've like paid attention to stuff, whenever they don't do that, there's serious problems. And I can't even remember the games right now because I probably just avoided them altogether. But yeah, if they're not out there, then there's a reason they're not giving them out. So.
Although sometimes that doesn't matter because they didn't have PC review codes out for Witcher 3 until release date, and that game is awesome.
But I think they didn't. I thought it was like they only had NA.
The only review codes that went out early were PS4 for Witcher 3.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
I wonder if that was some just kind of partnership thing. But I mean, you're right. It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. I remember because I don't know. I thought maybe I'd get one, and I thought it was because they had all these games have different like marketing companies now for different regions, and it gets really annoying and kind of confusing to figure out who to ask.
Yeah.
And I don't like asking, so I don't typically do that work.
I heard a rumor Half-Life 3 is canceled. Was that true?
What?
Half-Life.
Does anybody know at this point? Is it confirmed? Is it
canceled? It's not a game that I'm big. I did play Half-Life 2.
It can be canceled.
Yeah, do a podcast on all the games Valve needs to continue. I mean, you could do a podcast on just the one, pretty much.
Too busy, curating Steam and playing with VR to make any actual games.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they don't need to do anything.
They don't need
developers anymore. They can just make money off of Dota 2. And
they just hire random smart people and just like, dude, figure out a way to make some money now.
That's what they really do. Like they hired the team that made Talent 2. They hired the team that made Team Fortress 2. They eventually made Half-Life 2 after delaying for 1.5 years because their code was stolen.
Yeah, I mean they literally print money at this point. So. I mean, look at what is the internationals up to like 10, 11, 12 million dollars the tournament, and that's probably less than 50% of the pot. So just by throwing a tournament, they're making millions and millions of dollars. It's ridiculous. But I mean, good for them. They're one of my favorites. So yeah, $6 million. I mean, they just sold CS:GO again. What was it, $7 a pop? It's just
I never have to buy a Valve game because I've got the awesome code hookup.
Oh, here we go. That'll change probably. They'll probably change it out when Half-Life 3 comes out.
It's a lifetime code because they interviewed me and a bunch of other people, and they threw us all lifetime codes, which was pretty sweet, even though the interview was super weird.
So it's a buy-off is what you're saying. It's a shut-up code.
Yep.
So, all right, well, we're hitting that 2-hour mark, so what we're going to do is sign off here, the show proper. We're going to come back. I got to use the bathroom, get another beer. And again, guys, well, I'll tell you afterwards. But chat, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate that. We had a lot to talk about. I can't believe we did it in 2 hours. We're pretty deep on some as I thought we would, but that's actually good.
Deep.
Because I think the big ones we want to talk about, there's not a ton of information. I guess Fallout 4 is the only real game with a lot of information out on it that we kind of talked about. Everything else is kind of these, like, what do we think this game is going to be?
December 2016.
Is that when that one's coming out? No.
No, Mass Effect 4 is coming out.
Oh, I was going to say. Yeah. I was going to say, no, Fallout 4 is coming out relatively soon.
This year.
Yeah, it's...
November.
Yeah, I was going to say it's fall, isn't it?
Yep.
So, yeah, no, there's a lot of...
That's what happens when you wait forever to actually reveal your game. You can do stuff like that, say, hey, it's coming out in a few months.
That's what I loved about it. They did things differently. They actually had a tangible game to show us. I love it. I hope more games would do that.
Never release a game during E3. Don't do it. I have personal experience with
Release
this.
one, yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for coming out. Thanks for answering questions. Helping me cover all the games I've never played before. There's apparently a lot of them tonight. So, chat, like I said, we're going to take the stream down. We're going to come right back up. It just makes it easier for me to transport it over. And Puppy's probably going to play with his singular attention. He likes to have it all to himself while everybody runs to the bathroom. Do something embarrassing again. So, but thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate it. If you don't hang around, see you next time. Good night, guys.